All right, all right. I think we are live. Can you two say something just to make sure that you guys are hearable?
Hey guys, I'm Just Lee Belmont.
Setting up DS overlays is a pain in the ass.
Hmm. That's
Uh,
why I've been kind of avoiding doing DS games because you have to like fit most games you need the bottom screen and it's a pain in the ass to make it look right on stream
yeah,
and
well,
it's
in
just
my
it's just a
case,
pain in the
luckily,
ass.
like the games, I don't really need the bottom screen, but still, you kind of need. But welcome everybody. We're talking.
Yeah, Linguini, Ryan, Charging Tuck, Mimi, how you guys doing? So our topic I think is near and dear to my heart, and I think a lot of people who follow my stream are also quite familiar with this topic. Mario Party, the Mario Party series as a whole, and how we connect to it, how it relates, how we relate to it, and all that. So, I think a good place to start, and if for those of you in chat, before we do call-ins, we'll do call-ins a little bit later. You can chime in at any point, and we'll point out if any of you make any notable comments. For example, Ryan said, "Mario Party is fun."
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes. All right, but anyway, so I figure we should start with at least how we got onto Mario Party and and what attach like how we got attached to the series. So for me, when I actually had an N64, and I don't like to talk about my age, but N64 was my first major console, and I had Mario Party. That was one of the games I played quite a bit with my sisters. We only had two controllers, so we only ever played with two people in AIs. And honestly, my sisters were a bit older than me, so I only really ever played against AIs. And like the very few times I would invite friends over or I go to a friend's house, like a Mario Party would be something I would often bring up, but it didn't come around enough, and eventually for me it's sort of, at least in the N64 era, it faded away. I owned Mario Parties 1 and 3. And I really regret selling 3 to GameStop because that game's worth a little bit of money now. I'm a dumbass. But most of my friends had Mario Party 2. I had the odd numbered ones, and most of my friends had 2. So it worked out like we had a variety.
Yeah.
But so that's for me. So how about I guess you, Lee, first? Your connection to Mario Party, if any, major
Well,
connection?
it's not really like super substantial. For me, I kind of grew up having a lot of Nintendo consoles, N64 being one of them. And one of the big things we would used to do is kind of go to Blockbuster. Shout outs to those who
R.I.P.
remember that. Dead business now, unfortunately. And one of the games
One
I saw on
left.
the shelves was Mario Party. And I thought that game specifically was very interesting because I was very used to Mario kind of just being primarily like a platformer series a la Super Mario World and the recently released Super Mario 64, which I thought was really mind-blowing at the time. It was a really big revolution for gaming. And the fact that there was like the third-party game pretty much developing this was really interesting to me. And my story is kind of similar to yours, GK, in that I really didn't get too many opportunities to play it with other people. Like for me, the bulk of the series was mainly played solo until I kind of got like older into like my high school years, which is when I got like everyone on the party train. But yeah, it was a really cool experience and like a really fun way to experience the Mario franchise in in an even more lighthearted fashion.
Yeah. All right. So
Byron.
mine's a little bit interesting. So our family had the N64 for a while. We got a special bundle. It was the Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer bundle, which I believe came with a copy of Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer, the gray N64 controller, and I think the see-through purple one.
I had that one too, the purple.
Yeah. And so a neighbor of ours gave us a whole bunch of N64 games, and one of them was the first Mario Party.
Ooh,
And I'm like,
lucky.
what is this? Plugged it in, played a game against AI, I think on DK's Jungle Adventure, because that was the first board that like popped up. And I'm like, okay, it's like a board game. And then the mini games, I was like, wow. Like that's pretty much my first experience with Mario Party 1 and Mario Party in general.
All right. Well, I guess I also want to say where Mario Party sort of made a resurgence for me personally, because during the GameCube era, it was like at that point in like middle school and then like early high school, I really I very rarely hung out with anyone. So whenever I got any of the Mario parties, it was just me playing against the AIs very pathetically, and I never got too into it.
Like beating the story mode to unlock stuff.
Yeah, the story modes, which were always subpar in Mario Party, but I did play through some of them. But it was like one of those games that was always like a good stocking stuffer during like Christmas. They would buy me a game and the new Mario Party. Oh, there's a new number attached to it. And even as I was growing up, I realized that these games are getting like. Initially, I was like, it's like the same shit. I don't care anymore. Of course, I didn't really appreciate some of the nuances and the differences in some of the later series, which we'll get into. But what really made a resurgence for me was I was like, when I started to hang out with friends and we were playing games, like usually board games. They weren't really too into the video games. But I remember thinking, yeah, Mario Party. I vaguely remember that. And I got hooked on a YouTube series, which was, at the time, they called themselves Game Attack, which had Stuttering Craig, if anyone knows him from the Screw Attack fame. They actually had a thing where they did Mario Party Saturdays or Fridays or something, I don't remember what, but they would do like a regular live stream with Mario Party, and just them like interacting and the fans interacting with them as shit went down and some of the crazy stuff that happened while they were playing. It just made me realize just how crazy this game could be and like how much fun it would be. And I was like, wow, I would really like to play this. And at the time, and this was before I was streaming, I was like, I could really only play vicariously through Game Attack and just watching them. And I remember watching through some of their VODs like more than once at times when I was like really bored. But then eventually they stopped. They moved on to other things. And you know, Super Mario Party was coming out, and I was like thinking, this might be something like I can play with people, but it never really manifested into anything.
Yeah,
and eventually, not until way later, and online sucked. But I eventually started streaming Super Smash Brothers, because that was an easy game to stream, and I was experiencing growth like really like fast early on, and it sort of made me want to keep streaming. And through looking up online, I found out that there was a method to playing Mario Party online, the old ones, which back in those early days, very janky. At the time, I didn't have a big enough community to have a regular game. And I never really liked playing with a random AI. So I was like, hey, I'm putting the call out. If we have 4 people, if we have 3 more besides me to do Mario Party, we're doing Mario Party. If we don't, then we're doing Smash. And that's what was reality. I had no regular schedule. It was just, I'm going to stream. If we have enough for Mario Party, we're going to do that. If not, then it's Smash. And that was sort of like a theme for a long time. And T-Trax. Hey, how you doing, T? T-Trax was there indeed. But yeah, and as Byron said earlier, and as Grant pointed out, they waited a year for online Super Mario Party. But yeah, we'll talk about that as we go through. But the way I like to sort of say it is that I started streaming Smash entirely as a ruse to eventually get people who are into Mario Party to play that regularly. And eventually, after a couple regular games, I sort of became known for that. I taught people how to use the really jank-ass emu early on, which is way easier now. It's way easier now.
Yes.
To be fair. But desync was a fact of life. Disconnects were a fact of life. And it was a struggle. But I did it. And I also wanted to really like specialize my overlay just to make it super clear because one of my biggest gripes when I'm watching Mario Party is that I don't know who's what character, and I often forget. I know the people who are playing, and I know the characters in the game, but I had trouble connecting the two. So I struggled to like make a good overlay to make that information clear. And now I got onto something good. So I don't know for the rest of you, like any major resurgence of Mario Party that came like long after the fact for either of you two.
Well, I would say the two biggest resurgences for me were for pretty much like one of the main periods of my life. I actually got the chance to play Mario Party in multiplayer with actual people instead of AI. That started in college, actually. The main reason why that was able to happen was because I was able to homebrew my Wii to be able to have access to a couple other of the N64 ones.
How dare you?
How dare I? I know, crazy.
How dare you? No.
But I was basically able to do that, and I was able to get some of my other college buddies in on it, and those were like some of the craziest times I've ever had for Mario Party. But eventually, it did stop, and I got really bummed.
Yeah.
And one fateful day on Twitch, I was browsing the directory, and I saw a Yoshi main playing in Pirate Land. And then several years later, after the fact, got Mario Party back in my life again. I got some of my best buddies on the internet, so pretty safe to say it was worth the wait.
Cool. How about you, Byron?
I guess there's one big resurgence and one mini resurgence. So the big resurgence was that I found a YouTube channel that I am now like a Discord mod, Twitch mod for them in Mario Party TV. They were like one of the few even back in the day that were doing multiplayer Mario Party videos on YouTube, and all 4 of them were like in person together. And I found their channel, I think, in 2017. I'm like, okay, these guys are fucking entertaining, and they get salty at each other, of course, and all that usual stuff that comes with Mario Party. So I found them out, and then that's actually how I found out about Twitch, because one of the members of Mario Party TV started streaming on Twitch, because he was streaming Mario Party, the top 100, the mini game mode in that.
The best one.
I'm like, okay, this is cool. I get to see some live Mario Party, and I had never heard of Twitch before 2018, which might be surprising.
That's a topic in and of itself. Our initial discovery of Twitch, which I think we touched upon a little bit when we talked about our experience of smaller streamers. But continue.
Yeah, but that was like me watching people like play Mario Party. I would still like play Mario Party like occasionally.
That's a good thing about Mario Party. It's very entertaining to watch, just as much as it is to play.
Absolutely it is. But the second, I guess, mini revival of like me actually playing Mario Party was going on YouTube, because I had heard a few months prior to me finding out about oh god, pointing is hard. Mr. GK over there was I had heard about custom Mario Party boards. We can get into that a little more later.
Mm-hmm.
But custom boards were a thing, and I think it was the King Boo Carnival video on GK's channel that I found. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. I think like the next day, I watched like a different video, and then I was like, oh, GK streams. Let me go see what this action's all about. And then bada bing, bada boom, nearly 11 months later, we're here.
Sorry, I got distracted. What was that last point you just made?
But yeah, and then I basically found out you were live on Twitch, GK, like a day after I found your channel for the first time, and I'm like, okay, this dude's live. Let's check.
Yeah,
out.
yeah. You were talking about the modded boards, right?
I've 10.5 months later.
Yeah, I've noticed like the YouTube VODs. I feel like a full-on Let's Play is not quite in fashion anymore, but I think it's definitely good to have on as background noise sometimes, like a full VOD of just people arguing, because you can kind of get an idea of what's happening without even actually watching the video. And for me personally, I had a little bit of a spike of some people coming in when I made the Mario Party iceberg, which I'm quite proud of. Even if I'm looking at it when I rewatch it, I'm like, I could have edited that a little better, and I could have talked like I wasn't like high, but I wasn't. I was cosplaying. I was channeling the sloth from Zootopia in my first video. I was so paranoid about mispronouncing my words that I tried to speak super deliberately, but I came off like I was on Quaaludes or something. I don't know, but anyway, I'm still proud of the content of that video and following videos. For anyone who doesn't know, go look up GK Got Killed or the Mario Party Iceberg. You'll find that on YouTube. Quite proud of that. For those who don't know, I think most people who found me through that are quite well aware. Most people who already know me already know that, because I promoted that quite a bit well. Anyway, so I guess we sort of transition. And if anyone else in chat wants to bring up anything, and looks like T-Tracks, I think I watch each VOD at least twice just for background noise. Yes, I do that sometimes too for some games a game I forgot about. I was like, did I win this one? I want to let me start watching it, and I hope I did. And yes, I did win that. Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's kind of funny that I played so much Mario Party that I can kind of forget how a lot of games went. But that's the way it goes. All right. So, I want to sort of transition, and we can sort of go through each game in the series and just sort of give a very general review. Unless there's any other points either of you two or anyone in chat wants to bring up, just in general about Mario Party. And Mimi discovered me through VODs. That's good. That's
wow.
good.
I feel like that's a rare scenario.
Yeah, it's like me and mimicry. That's it.
Yeah, I've noticed I'm like the custom. I mean, we'll talk a little bit about the custom boards when we get to Mario Party 3. But so for Mario Party 1, which is a very unique experience because they do a lot of things very strangely.
Yeah.
And it's the typical trope of first installment weirdness. They had no items. It was a lot more streamlined. It was a very fast-paced game. And some of the boards were they have the most boards out of any of the Mario Party series. I think I think
8.
8.
Like,
yeah, they're yeah. 2 of them were unlockable, which by the way, I'm not a fan of locked content in party games like Mario Party. It's a pain in the ass. But a surprising amount of board variety because that sort of goes downhill as the series goes. But some of the jankiness, like the rules of how you gain money in minigames sort of is not super consistent. All the 2v2s, if you lose 10 coins, which is frustrating.
Yeah,
the 1v3s, I think it's the
cash.
same. A lot of the 1v3s, it's the same deal. Like if you lose, you lose money or yeah. So there's a lot of weirdness. There's single player games, which are a time waster a lot of the times, which would eventually turn into, yeah. Fuck Whack-A-Plant. I put that in F tier for... Yeah, that one... Oh my god, that one sucked too. Flower Shower. Ugh. But yeah, so the mini games, which were then... You know, you can excuse the general N64 era. The mini games were a little bit hit and miss, especially the stick spinners, which Nintendo deserved to get sued for that fucking element.
They got sued by
I had a
New York State.
I got a blister. I remember getting a blister doing that, trying to do the specifically the Boo. I forget the name of it. The one you're on a bike and you're trying to turn on the light. I kept trying that one in like I think it was either the single player mode, the minigame island, and eventually I had this huge blister. And I remember I was part of baseball, and I remember having issues like grabbing the fucking bat with this like chunk of skin missing from my palm.
All right,
was,
so for those who don't know,
pedal power. Thank you, T-Trax.
This thing,
ew,
yes,
gross.
dirty. I apologize for that, but
that's gross.
Like,
what is that?
No rubber. It's all plastic. It's hard. Like, yeah, that's basically the strategy, and it fucks up your N64 analog stick. So
I was gonna say,
there's a
speaking
visual
of,
for you. There's a visual for you, ladies.
Speaking of palm pain, we know someone in our group that has a scar from doing that, right, GK?
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Catman has legit a little indent, which is horrific to think about, and oh god, that is so fucking gross. Which this is a total aside and a joke, but about the controller, I wanna bring it up though
I'll
real
bring
quick.
This back out as the
visual. Just the concept of controllers and how the controllers streamlined and changed throughout the various not just Nintendo but Microsoft and Sony as well.
Yeah, we went from this to this.
Here, let me show this. So here's the meme I want to show everyone. If I didn't just fucking delete it. Okay, my bad,
the
everyone.
Blister, the stronger you are. No!
Yeah, it all calluses.
Yeah,
it all calluses at some point, and it all goes fine. So anyway, here we go. So PlayStation, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Xbox, change is good. Nintendo, cocaine.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
definition of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. DualShock 4, same thing as the first DualShock.
Yeah,
They
and Xbox
eventually
changing
learn
was
with the
good.
Pro-Con.
Yeah, but I just find this meme very funny.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, it's very fitting.
It's pretty good.
indeed it is. Indeed it is. Ugh,
Ah.
man. Ugh. Anyway, so not to get derailed too much. So, do any of you have any other commentary on Mario Party 1 before we move up the ladder?
I have a very, very soft spot for the first Mario Party. There's a lot of things I like about it that other Mario Parties don't do. I know you mentioned that it was frustrating that the 2v2s and some of the 1v3s actually make you lose money. I think that's absolutely hilarious and punishing in the funniest possible way. Some of my favorite moments have kind of like come from that just because of the game just being unnecessarily cruel. And I just think it makes for like a more funny experience. It feels very in line with the theme of Mario Party and all the
It
Very
should
savage.
be an option. It should be a toggleable option, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, like a hardcore mode,
Yeah,
or
hardcore Mario Party.
or a former friend mode.
Yeah.
Former.
I also really like how many boards there are. I mean, granted, there's still gonna be like, 4 or 5 that I wind up doing a lot, but it's just the sheer variety of them that kind of just makes
Different
for, like,
elements.
a new experience.
Most of the one boards are fucking trash.
To be fair,
Some of them
yeah,
are pretty bad. People's
I
Birthday
have
Cake
a
is
soft
awful.
spot for like DK's boring. And I
like
would
the
at some
DK
point.
board. Come on, man.
I mean, it's serviceable, but I want to do a board tier list at some point after I once I'm done with like my college shit and I can get back into making videos, like a stream and then a video of the boards like in the whole series, which would take probably a long time. But that aside, though, there were some good ideas that were not implemented well in the boards that would eventually be better. I really liked Rainbow Castle. I mean, that was like that was a very basic board, but it was still intense. Just the flipping of Toad and Bowser, and the fact that he takes 40 coins, crazy.
I've become less of a fan of that board recently playing it. Lee fucking knows all the torture I went through during that particular game.
I think the biggest strength and problem of Mario Party 1 is its simplicity. Like, it's simple to a fault in that it's, the games are pretty much always slated to go really fast, but at the same time, it does sacrifice a lot of the depth that the later games have because there's quite literally no item metagame, which adds to like, a lot of the
they have the weirdness of random blocks, which sort of replace the items, but you had no agency.
I also love those because I've gotten
I
out
like
of
the
Rainbow
idea.
Castle,
Yeah, they
like
are
a million
hilarious.
times with Warp Block.
I have that funny that one of my more popular TikToks was the fascinating series of events where it just kept going back and forth between you and I think it was Emo. I'm forgetting.
Emo, yeah, because we got the last turn Warp Block switcheroo victory, I think.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And the last major thing I wanted to mention specifically about Mario Party 1, Minigame Island is one of my favorite things. I actually speedran it a few times, and I really wish that came back in later games.
It technically did in
2.
Well, not just 2, in Top 100 and Super, technically. It's the same idea, just done differently. But I agree. I would really love a minigame island.
I did get a little enjoyment out of that. I did get a little bit of enjoyment out of that as a kid. I don't know if I ever finished it. I think I probably got stuck at a point or two.
So, funnily enough, I actually recently, maybe a month ago, beat Mario Party 1's minigame island for the very first time.
It felt good, right?
Well, having played Mario Party 1 with all of you guys for a bit has definitely made me better at all those mini games for sure.
And I gotta say though, speedrunning must have quite a bit of intensity because near the end you gotta play past hop a bomb,
oh god,
all the skill in the world out the window.
I honestly think speedrunning Minigame Island gave me a much better appreciation for it. It has a really good amount of replayability with trying to just constantly get better at your times too.
So. All right, so Mario Party 2. And by the way, we did do a tier list of all the Mario Party mainline series, which is on my YouTube. And if you go searching, you'll probably find it.
2 things I want to mention about Mario Party 1 before we head to Mario Party 2. The music. The music is so good.
Yes.
Dude, I could listen to Rainbow Castle specifically for an hour straight. It's so comfortable.
I actually, when I used to work my fucking call center job, that was one of the songs I would have on repeat for a bit, just to sort of
mellow you
Calm me
out.
down. You know, it was a nice chill song, but yeah, like, and I love the mini game music in Mario Party 1, which I
some of those mini games are, in my opinion, top 10 mini games. Mushroom Mix Up, Shy Guy Says, Facelift, so good.
Bombsketball.
Bombsketball's
No.
a funny one.
It's funny.
Ugh.
It's not top 10.
Bobsled Run, I think that's a really good mini game. There's quite a few great mini games in Mario Party 1.
and then you have like
that got
match
put
game.
into a better Mario Party in Mario Party 2.
Yeah, so interesting thing with Mario Party 2, I don't know how confirmed this is, but it seems very likely, and I talk about this in my iceberg, wink wink, that it was originally intended as a DD add-on. Which explains like they add the costumes. It was just like you're adding costumes, you're adding boards, you're adding mini games. And you can see this quite well because of how much they recycled the mini games and just how similar everything kind of was.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that was the case.
And I kind of wish Nintendo kept doing this, or Hudson, or whoever made the decision to actually keep some mini games that were like really good. But it seems like from Mario Party 1 to 2, they kept really like a decent amount of good ones, and then from Mario Parties 3 onwards, they rarely repeated mini games. It was like they try to wipe the slate clean and try to reinvent the wheel, which there is merit to that. They had to be imaginative. But at the same time, if they kept like a small handful of like maybe 12 minigames or like 10 minigames from the previous entry, I think that would have been fine. It would have been funny if they had like one minigame that was persistent all throughout, like Mushroom Mix-Up was in every Mario Party. That'd be funny.
Would be great, but I'm honestly fine with them having new mini games per Mario Party because it makes each Mario Party unique in its own way. And yes, like Bowser's Bigger Blast technically came back in 4. Technically.
Yeah, there were some exceptions to that rule, of course. But it also had the good effect because when Superstars came out, and with the inevitability of DLC, they have a lot to draw from and update and make better. Anyway, so Mario Party 2, Mario Party 2 had better boards. I think probably the best set of boards in the series, if I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Maybe like 6 could compete a little bit. But I like the boards in Mario Party 2. The use of items, which is nice. It adds a nice element to it, but it's kind of restrictive having only one item, because if one person has a plunder chest, then it's like you can't really do much. But it's there to add some spin to things. Yeah. You buy a golden mushroom and then you're able to run the board and do a bunch of crazy shit. And the mini games were a huge step up, of course.
Yes.
And they streamlined like how the rules of the game work to be a little bit more consistent for the rest of the series. So that was nice. Any other random comments from Mario Party 2 from either of you?
I would say either 2 or 3 was probably like the biggest like incremental like upgrade for the series, specifically because it added items, which just flat out wasn't a thing prior to that game, and that just has such like a huge impact on how a lot of boards are played. And it was also like the advent of battle mini games too, which I think Mario Party 2 is some of the most fun ones, I think.
Oh, baby battle mini games.
Yeah.
Yes.
And those add
the battle
games
games where things get intense.
Yeah, and those add like a really interesting dynamic where people have to just...
So speaking of battle mini games, Mimi brought up a question. Bigger Blast or Merry-Go Chomp? I'm in the camp of Big Blast myself.
Yeah,
I think it's
I'm in the
more
Big
iconic.
Blast camp.
Yeah. The setup for
Merry-Go Chomp is still fine. I just kind of prefer, it's a little bit more faster paced, and it's just kind of like hitting the plunger in the anticipation of it blowing up.
Yep.
I rather like that. But I mean, Merry-Go Chomp is fine too as the replacement for 3. Before we move on to 3, any last second thoughts for 2?
I was also going to say that the boards felt like a very substantial upgrade.
Seems
like
absolutely.
What the devs really wanted to make, and I appreciate that it felt like more of a refinement of what was already there than like completely reinventing the wheel. And I think that was a good approach that they did.
I like how one of the boards has a day-night cycle, which would become a theme in a future game. And that was a good idea.
Very progressive, for sure.
Yes.
Had a lot.
Yeah, costumes was a big thing. I know
love those.
people in the chat have mentioned already.
Yeah, that was a nice element, which they never really brought back. Hopefully we'll see that again soon.
Yeah.
Were there 5
Anyway,
modes in that or 6?
there was
6. Well, okay, technically 7 if you want to count minigame stadium.
nah, it's like a unique mode.
Yeah.
Also, I think I don't remember if there was any like rare event or hard to do thing in Mario Party 1, but Mario Party 2 had King Boo, which was a hard thing to work towards that very few games had to deal with.
Skeleton key, gotta have
You need money.
15 or 150 coins.
Yeah, 150 for the 3-star steal. I think I'm correct me if I'm wrong. I think Mario Party 2 was the first one to have a very hard to reach, a hard to activate thing.
Yeah. Well, depending on like the layout of Luigi's engine room, one of the stars could be hard as shit to get, but that's about
Or
it.
Eternal Star.
That's a quirk of the
just being a
board.
complete hodgepodge.
Yeah, but
All right, well, so Mario Party 3. Mario Party 3, I go back and forth between 3 and 6. 3 is definitely my favorite N64. I think it's a fully realized Mario Party experience on the N64. It added, it added characters for the first time, like, you know, with Waluigi and Daisy. Not like a big deal, but there was more variety in character picks now.
yes.
Which was nice. They also had like they try to work in there was kind of a story mode in Mario Party 2, but there was I think an active ongoing
like
narrative in
mode.
3. Yes.
Yeah.
There was an actual narrative, like they try to come up with a reason why everyone's partying more so. And I mean it doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you really think about it. Like
Mario games aren't known for their plot.
nah, yeah, that's true. Like everyone gets turned miniature and put into a toy box, but then Daisy and Waluigi show up. How the hell did they get in the box? Anyway, that aside, the you know the single player, which I didn't really have much exposure to the single player in Mario Party 3. I mostly played the normal mode. Which, if we're gonna talk about the normal mode, the boards, I'm trying to think if there's any board I don't. I kind of like the boards in 3. I think 2's boards are a bit better, but I really like the chaotic nature of Waluigi's Island. Chili Waters is also pretty good. Just the fact you have to think about going back if like more than one person goes on the thing. Good, and the mini games, which I think maybe Mario Party 2's mini games were a touch better. I think Mario Party 3 still had a good set of mini games for sure. Couple of duds like fucking Spotlight Swim, but you know,
Spotlight Swim, man.
we don't
always
talk
wins
about
that.
we don't talk about that. Also the ability to hold 3 items and the addition of rare items. Like that was a nice element. That hidden blocks now is not just coins and stars, it's the potential of a rare item or just a stupid key.
Or like a skeleton key. 20% of
Oh, Game Guy was a nice element, which they never brought back. That I really liked that. It was like potentially game breaking, but it was like legit going to a casino. Like you would lose more often than not, but occasionally you can just make bank, and you have to deal with the fact that there's an opponent who's like rich as shit, and yet it sort of changes the calculations, like the calculus in people's head of how they want to approach every situation.
Your Game Guy.
Yeah, and the duel mode, which people sort of play only a few times, but I think it has merit to it. I kind of wish people gave it more of a fair shake.
There's a game on GK's YouTube channel you need to watch. One of the most insane duel mode games I've ever played against this man. It was ridiculous.
Back and forth. Well, that's the weird thing about the duel mode is that it either ends like within a few turns, or it's like a huge like war of attrition between the two people.
Me and GK did a round as Superstars was coming out.
I had a counter going off.
Like 35 minutes.
All right. Well, any other commentary about Mario Party 3? What about you, Lee?
I'd say out of like any of the Mario parties, I think 3 is probably the most cohesive package. Like it's got the sheer amount of modes, it's got story, it's got, you know, the traditional battle mode that we've come to, or like the battle royale mode we've come to expect. It's got the, you know, 1v1 mode, which I think is really fascinating. It's got even more mini game types than before, such as like you mentioned, the Game Guy. the 1v1s and just like
Oh yeah, I
different things
forgot
of
about
nature. And more and
The
item
item
mini
games.
games that were
Item
refreshed and
mini
not
games.
just
This was a
repetitive.
weakness of Mario Party 2. The item games and the duels were board specific, and that made it
Yep.
kind of suck. Mario Party 3 made them like a normal, like randomly selected
Yeah.
set.
Like all of that, in addition to, I would say, probably the most captivating item meta game throughout the entire series, just
Absolutely.
makes for such an awesome experience. And like, probably, I would say that's like the peak of the series for me, as far as like quality and cohesiveness. Which is ironic because there's still like 7 more after that.
Ugh. Oh yeah, it
There's
gets
so many
weird.
more.
And also the lovely broken nature of the reverse room, which
Reverse
never came
room
back for
is
some reason.
Yes.
So good. It's so good. The fact you can pick yourself is game changing.
And this is kind of like, this is a little bit cheating, but the custom boards for Mario Party 3.
I was gonna mention that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
infinite replayability. I don't want to steal your spotlight.
Yeah.
But you go ahead.
So if you want to
that.
talk about the custom boards a bit, Mario Party 3, I mean, this Mario Party 1 and 2 has a bit, but Mario Party 3 has
they
the
have
most.
some custom boards.
There's
one
more to
more
work
than
with.
2, because with 2, apparently with Party Planner 64 right now, skeleton keys or skeleton key doors don't really work. Which
And
is
I
a
guess they have to figure
shame.
that out. That's weird.
Yeah, which is a shame, but like, look at Mario Party Legacy, look at the Mario Party 3 boards, and you will see so many different boards from incredible creators. Whether it's like an MS Paint style, or they're trying to lean more towards the Mario Party 3-esque style, there are some great custom boards to play. There's so many good ones.
I love some of the gimmicks some people came up with, which
I'm not
Mimi
the biggest fan
is in
of
the
fucking
chat.
Chance Time EX, but
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Chance Time's EX is just sort of the normal. Oh, that's the one weakness of Mario Party 3. I'm not a fan of its Chance Time because it's too easy to time the first metric. Just a little too easy. And I guess that's kind of why Chance Time EX sort of became a thing, is that you can guarantee one of the options and then the rest are totally random without the spinning wheel. I kind of prefer Chance Time to be going too fast. You can't time it. You can kind of time it in Mario Party 1.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. So the modded boards, that just adds like a whole other thing to it. I wish there was capability of like customizing mini games, but that requires too much change of the ROM, and it's not really feasible. The boards are just easier to do.
Especially doing net play and playing these custom boards has been a game changer, because it's technically a whole new Mario Party experience, because it's boards that's never been played before by a lot of people, and it's an incredible experience to be a part of.
And they stretch that engine to its limits.
Yeah, or to even watch is a great experience.
Mimicry brings up a very good question where he mentions, I'm surprised you think 3 is the best metagame versus 6. I would say the biggest reason behind that is how the item shops themselves function. Correct me if I'm wrong. In 6, you only get 3 things to choose from a pool, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that is its biggest problem, specifically because in Mario Party 3, you always have a pool of at least like, it's either 6 or 7 items, right?
Well, yeah,
it's a decent amount.
I think it's 6 plus item bag.
It's dependent on your placement. There's a little bit of a comeback mechanic depending on how far along the game is, and people did the math, like on Mario Party Legacy or Ursula, like ripped the game's code apart, and they'll tell you exactly. If you don't think about the code, it's just like you hope to get items you want, but if you're doing good, you're probably not getting the lamp.
Yeah, but even then, you still have substantially more
you have options.
Choice as a player between that.
The bag.
That's not even
you got the bag.
Yeah, and that's not even factoring in like the cellular shopper, which just gives you like your shop of choice on like any turn, which I think alone kind of makes the item metagame a lot more compelling. Just being able to pick and choose between just the 3 choices that you get. Because my best example of that, in Mario Party 6, you can get 3 mushrooms that are all the same thing in the shop. Like, what's the point?
Lame. Oh, also a good thing that I don't think came back is that Mario Party 3 had 2 different shops that would randomly show up with a different item pool.
Exactly.
And with the cellular shopper, you got to pick them. Like Toad was like more normal or defensive items, and the Baby Bowser or the Koopa Kid or whatever the hell those things are called, they are more offensive weapons that hurt other players. And it was a pretty cool idea.
Yep.
So, you know, that sort of, and then we can talk more about Mario Party 6 when we get to it. So, any last thoughts on Mario Party 3 before we go on to the GameCube?
Not the biggest fan of Creepy Cavern. Probably my least favorite board.
Too reliant on skeleton keys.
Very
in a bad
dreary.
way, I think.
Oh, I also almost forgot 3 is the main one I do the chat interactive with, which was a very good experience. I think people enjoy.
Yeah, it's an experience for sure. But yeah, if you haven't, check out Mario Party Legacy forums. Have a look at the custom boards for 3 especially. 1, there's starting to be a few more good custom boards for that game, but definitely have
I think Mario Party
them.
Legacy has a yearly contest with a theme.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, but yeah, have a look at that for any of the N64 games if you really want. They changed the game, especially for Mario Party 3, because there's so many good ones and a good variety of themes, mechanics, and looks.
All right, so Mario Party 4, which I got a lot of flack for during my tier list for putting bottom tier. I'm honestly, I still don't really like Mario Party 4, and here's a couple of my reasons. Well, I will admit the mini games in Mario Party 4 I think are some of the best, probably in the series. If off the top of my head, they have some really good mini games. They have the great concept of a custom playlist, which is really cool.
Yes.
Where the game fails, the boards, I fucking hate most of them. The only one I kind of like is the Goomba Gala one, or the gambling one.
Greedy Gala.
The rest of them, and I'm sure Lee can attest, has the issue of like Fruit Loops. A lot of
Fruit
loops.
Loops, yes. Mario Party 4 is Fruit Loops.
It has objectively bad boards, and you can't tell me otherwise. If a player can get stuck in the same area for like 12 turns, you failed as a board developer.
Yeah, Lee, we've both experienced that before.
Yes.
Getting stuck
yeah,
in the
if you I actually remember this. I think it was the VOD I named Circle the Wagons or something like that, which I used that idiom. I realized after the fact I used that idiom wrong. But it kind of, Circle the Wagons, you know, I mean, just him going in circles a lot, which Circle the Wagons is going on defense mode, but it kind of works in Mario Party. You can go on defense mode. But yeah, the boards are lame. There's a lot of elements of the boards that are like frustrating. You get stuck in the loops with little control. The shop and the item play, I think, was a big step down. There was no rare items. The items were very basic. A lot of the items had the spin wheel, and this is going to be a bad theme throughout most of the GameCube ones, that there's a way to cheese it. That you just wait and it goes to the same one, and I hate it.
Oops, all mushrooms.
Yeah. Oh, another reason why I hate Mario Party 4. They got rid of the duels. There's no duels, and that was kind of a shame. Yeah. They kept the battles as, I think, the last until Mario Party Superstars, where the battle is an independent space.
Yes.
And they also added this thing of the person who landed on it gets to choose between 2. And there's very few battle games in 4, by the way. Yeah, not a lot.
Well, there's never really been a whole lot of battle minigames in like most Mario Party.
It just seemed more apparent in 4.
Yeah.
So yeah. The item play is not good. The boards are lame. The game is really slow too. I need codes to increase the animation speeds. Game goes pretty long.
There's one game I think is slower, but we'll get to that later.
Well, anyone have either agree with me or have any merits to 4 that they would like to talk about?
Huge agree on pretty much everything you said. 4 just feels extremely underwhelming. I mean, I know you mentioned you don't like the boards. I don't like them, but for a different reason. They are all aesthetically like
they're bland.
They're flat. Like all of them are just like rectangle like corridors, and it just looks ugly to look at too.
Like,
yeah, I actually never really thought about that. They're all on top of like these square like platforms, and it's
like they were figuring out like polygons.
Just felt like there's no heart to it.
Yeah,
I mean that is true. They didn't really. Was it a launch title? Correct me if I'm wrong.
It was a very early
close to
one, I think.
It is actually, funnily enough, it is Mario Party 4's 20th year of existence this year.
Oof.
I feel old.
Same.
We all feel old.
But, all right, any other thoughts, Lee or Byron, about Mario Party 4?
I guess the last thing I was going to mention, because I really just don't like Mario Party 4. Big agree on the items feeling a lot
Yes.
felt lifeless in terms of quality of life. Yeah. The
Yeah.
item meta game, I didn't like it. I thought
It's not as
the
good.
mega in Mini felt like a big downgrade because they feel like they actively punish you for using
I
items.
hated that you pass board elements.
Yeah, and to top it all off, you're pretty much forced to use them because they give them to you every single time on the item space.
Oh
There's
my
nothing
God.
else in the pool but those things, and I hate
There's
them.
shroom dealers in Mario Party 4. There's way too many of them. You
Yeah.
have to use them. You can't throw them away. You have to use them in order to buy other items. I don't mind the concept of the mini shroom gate, but the fact that you always roll like 1 through 5 makes them annoying to get through. It's really. I wish the
I
mini
would've
just made you
preferred it.
small.
I would have preferred it if it had just functioned as like a skeleton key instead, where you can just
Yes.
use it upon like getting in there. Because like as it stands, it's like I don't want to like
Yeah.
always move that less spaces. Like Curse Mushroom isn't something that most players want to use on themselves, and that's just like a slightly better version of that. You
Yeah,
know?
like Cursed Mushroom in most Mario Party games is like the worst item.
Yeah.
What they should have done. I mean, there are moments where you want to roll low. I mean, but what they should
Yeah,
have
but
done
it's
was,
rare.
as you said, make the mini shroom act as a key. You just go to the gate and then you use it and you turn small and then you go through the mini pipe. Or you can use it as a traditional item either on yourself or someone else. Force someone else to roll low or
Yeah.
make yourself roll low. Then you expend your key, so it would have like a dual use. That would be kind of cool, I think.
Yeah. It
More
needed
versatile.
something else to be tweaked about it, because
Yeah.
as it stood, it just felt like a big downgrade.
The fact that you really needed the super mini shroom in order to get to like where you wanted to. Although I will say that the chance time, which they changed to reversal of fortune or something,
Reversal of Fortune, it's pinball, baby.
I like that. I like that.
I know Lee does.
I don't. And if you want proof as to why I don't like it,
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, those don't work while I'm doing the
they don't.
podcast.
Okay, well, it's me
Say
screaming,
it
"Why are
live,
you poor?"
Lee. Say it live.
Why are you poor?
That was great.
There we go.
So yeah. Another thing I liked was the lottery shop in
I was
4,
gonna
actually.
mention that. Actually, I was gonna mention that.
I
I
kinda-
really like the lottery shop.
Bring back the lottery shop
Yes, bring it
and
back.
Game Guy. Bring both of them back. Because
Or
the
have
win
Game-
rate was low enough, but you would occasionally win some. It was interesting.
Or combine the two.
Yeah, where he just
Yeah.
gives you a ticket upon like gambling.
Yeah,
I think that'd be cool.
yeah, and you can either randomly get one of those like 2 like little lottery events, or you get a mini game.
Oh, and I also didn't, even though it was kind of like a pointless thing most of the time, I didn't mind the star ticket you get for going to the lottery shop
Yeah,
for
I'm
the
fine with
first
that,
time. Yeah, just the
Yeah,
fact
I'm fine
that
with that.
like occasionally you could just get a free star, and I've gotten that during one of the games where I was winning by the most. It was hilarious. That was a
Like,
good one.
I'm fine with that mechanic being the thing.
There was a couple of good ideas in 4, but they squandered it on the core game. Was just not good enough to carry
Yeah.
the good features.
Yeah, I like some of the board themes in 4. There's a few, I guess, cool side modes and like side mini games to play. The story mode was fine, but
I don't even remember it.
Mario Party 4 is disappointing considering even Mario Party like 2 had a better item system.
A random fact, if you look at the intro cutscene for Mario Party 4, there's an animation mistake with Luigi where he kind of just sort of floats around for a second.
Floating.
It's weird. I mean, first N64 new hardware, they had to get used to it. So, I guess, do we want to move on to 5? Any,
Yeah.
Oh, wait, actually, Domination.
Oh,
That's another
domination.
good thing about
Yeah, this-
4 is that they had Domination, which
Yeah.
unfortunately the base game there's a ceiling where if you hit 160 the game just stops, and I can honestly, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I can very frequently hit that threshold, and it results in a tie if people hit that threshold. I guess they didn't anticipate kids like mashing that good with one thumb or learning the double thumb method.
Yeah.
Like
So-
T-Track showed me. But yeah,
Yeah,
I really liked that.
Yeah.
But all right, so Mario Party 5, which this is when I started to have less exposure. I would only occasionally get these games. 5, I do remember getting 5, and I remember not liking the item system. There was some merit to it, and when I initially played it growing up, I did not play it correctly. I wasn't throwing them out, and I was only playing against AIs, so I didn't really.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a good.
You
I didn't really have a good experience with
real
any of the
people.
GameCube ones, but there is an interesting like chaotic feel to 5 where you can throw out and like make custom spaces for every board. And it had some decent boards too. I remember liking the pirate one and the Bowser one, which was okay, although that animation's overly long where Bowser takes a stroll. That was a bit much. And the mini games, I remember this is where my memories I often confuse mini games between like 5, 6, and 7, and I tend to mix them up. But I remember, like, just generally speaking, 5, 6, and 7's had pretty okay mini games. 5 in particular.
They had good minigames.
5, I think, was one of the ones I played the least out of all the Mario parties. Some people really like Mario Party 5. I definitely think it's much better than 4, but I
Yes.
definitely place it a little bit lower. Yeah, like there was no the item meta was like totally different. Chaotic, and I'm not quite sure how to feel about that. The overall game itself, I think, was fine for the most part. So what are your thoughts, Lee?
I have a lot about 5.
Oh boy.
If I could think of one way to describe 5, for me at least, for the overall experience, it would be aggressively average. I think some of the boards are pretty fun. I think Pirate Dream is probably my favorite, and I think it's a genuinely good board.
Yeah.
A lot of the minigames are pretty cool. I like those a lot.
There's too many mashers, but
I agree.
I'm okay with that.
yeah, of course you'd be okay with that, Mr. Masher over here.
I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, the absolute thing that ruins 5 for me, which is, it's also tied into another point, is the item metagame. The reason behind this is that the items sacrifice a couple crucial board elements that have been mainstays from the series since day one. Specifically, Boo. And without having a dedicated Boo space on the board, we have Chain Chomp. The problem with that
it's not even a walk past. You have to land on it.
You have to, 1, land on it. You have to, 2, pray that you get it from the capsule machine. 3, make sure you have enough money. And all of those things combined effectively mean that game has, like, no comeback mechanics when someone has, like, a substantial lead, which is, like, it's such a problem because there's been so many games where people have had, like, 200 plus coins, 8 stars, and your only miracle is the miracle capsule or just chance time happening. And
the miracle capsule is, like, absurd to get.
Yeah.
But I guess another thing to hope for is the last 5 event, and you get the all capsule spaces and try to find the chance times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at that point, it's just like it's compounding all the randomness on top of each other. So you have basically a Monopoly situation where it's like there's like no way to win after a point because of all that.
Hey, he brought up Grant brought up Super Duel Mode. I actually never had a chance to try it. Anyway, I guess Byron, you go, and then I guess when I'll drag Emo in after you give your point, Byron.
My story about Mario Party 5. It was one of my most rented games at my local Blockbuster. Hey, bringing back Blockbuster again into this story, but yeah, because like my Blockbuster had a lot of PS2 games. They had no Xbox games, and they had like I think 5 GameCube games. I'm like, come on. Can't have more.
I had a good options in my local Blockbuster.
And one of the GameCube games was Mario Party 5. I enjoyed it. Koopa Kid, Boo, and Toad are playable characters, so that's kind of cool. But pour one out for Donkey Kong. He is now good.
Now it's demoted to space.
Good guy Bowser, which I'm fine with there being a good guy variant to Bowser, even though sometimes like he gives the player in first a free fucking star, but
it's random.
Bullshit, but yeah, like I'm fine with that. I just wish it wasn't Donkey Kong. Nintendo realized their mistake like 5 fucking games later, but so new characters are great. Something I will always appreciate. Mario Party 5 has an incredible selection of side modes and mini.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's the strongest point. Like all these side modes, like the hockey
circuit, mini game decathlon. Try to get the best score in 10 different mini games. There was
And
card
I forget the
party.
name of it. There was one where we play like pieces on a board and you just sort of
Yeah,
move
card
around. It was
party.
very card party.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was very
card party,
basic, but it
yeah.
was serviceable.
Yeah, it was a fun experience. There are a few other super duel mode, as Gran mentioned. That's an okay time. That's a decent time. But that's something I will appreciate about 5 is that it has probably some of the best side modes and minigame modes in the entire series.
All right. Well, I guess unless anyone has anything else to say, I can bring Emo in and get the.
No, I don't have anything else to say about 5.
Yo, Emo,
What's
can you hear
up?
us?
Yeah, I can hear audio. Good.
Ooh, I got 2, I think.
Well,
Wait,
come
why
on in.
can't I? For some reason, can you try to turn yourself down a bit? I can't seem to edit you for some reason.
Me?
Yeah. Oh, never mind. I can do it. Never mind.
Oh. Do I just need to
All right.
like talk or something?
Yes. Okay. Does he sound good to the rest of you?
Say a sentence.
Hello? Hi?
Yeah.
I love Mario Party.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, we were talking about Mario Party. Do you have any? We were talking about 5, but if you have anything to say, any additional points from all the previous ones?
Honestly, I just tuned in, but I heard you guys were talking about 5, and I was like, that one's always been like a weird one for me because I never played it like religiously, but it's not one that I always like hated because honestly, I like the mini games and I do like the item system. It does annoy me that there's not like a shop or anything, but the fact
Yes.
that it was like an experiment to throwing orbs and whatnot, and that was actually really just like interesting to me, just like the whole premise of it.
That appeals to some people, I guess. Like the chaotic nature. I remember someone did an alignment chart of Mario Party games. I gotta dig that up.
was me. That was me.
Yo, you
right
did?
there. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that
actually,
was
if you
me.
still have it, if you want to share it, because I find it's a funny meme.
Yeah,
Because I don't.
still-
You
yeah,
posted
let
a
me
while ago.
Find that, but yeah, let me find that Mario Party alignment chart.
Because I think you put 5 in chaotic evil.
I put 1 in chaotic evil. I put 5 in chaotic neutral.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Mario Party 5 does not care. That is why I put it where I put it, because it does not care.
Yeah, when you find it, you can share it in the tab with here on StreamYard, and I can put it up because it's a very good alignment chart, I have to say. So yeah, 5, which is like kind of like almost like the black sheep of the series because they try different things and it's weird. But any last thoughts on 5 before we move on to some 6? All right. So for 6, I think is up there as one of my favorites, and I go back and forth between 3 and 6. 6, I feel like, sort of like how Mario Party 3 was 1 and 2 fully realized, I think 6 was 5 fully realized and implemented more better. I'm still not huge on the item meta in that one,
Yeah.
but you can actually, they do have a shop system, which is the 3 items, which is better, but it's kind of annoying that you're at the mercy of the RNG in the shop. But I will say Mario Party 6 had some really good boards, like some good board gimmicks. The Castaway Bay, which was like Rainbow Castle from 1, just I think made a little better with a harder risk of losing a star.
You're fucked out of 40 coins if you
You're
get
fucked
to
out of a
Bowser,
star.
It's only 20, which is fine, or a star, which sucks.
The star thing is I think that makes the game, it can have a potential of like a back and forth. Clockwork Castle, I think, is one of the more, like, one of the better gimmicks in any of the Mario Party boards that's outside of a traditional race to the star mode. Having the day-night, also 6, I should mention, has a day-night mechanic in all their boards. You have to chase down DK, who was the one holding the star, or you have to run away from Bowser. And the fact that the board, it changes from clockwise to counterclockwise, and you have to be mindful of that while also keeping your mind on the pipes. It sucks you have to unlock that board, but that's one of the best boards, probably an S tier board if I did the tier list, Clockwork Castle. But I will say that Mario Party 6 has one of the worst fucking boards. I think, what was it called? Fair Square?
Fair Square, or as I know Mario Party TV calls it, Unfair Square.
Yeah, that board is such crap. I hate it. There's like one place where everyone tends to go, and there's a lot of the board that goes unexplored. I'm not a fan. A varying star price, not a bad idea. But that board being static, not so much. I'm not good on that. And Lee broke the game once with his cheap strategy of owning the aisle to the star with his spaces. But now we all copy that, so now it's a power struggle. That the star aisle is a power struggle, which is interesting, but I don't really go for that board. The ice one,
how I innovate both in Mario Party for board control and Fortune Street.
you know, T-Trax brings up an interesting point of preferring fair square than the ice one. I actually don't mind the ice one so much. I think the ice. Snowflake Lake, which, for those who don't know, everyone starts with 5 stars, and then you have to keep paying for chain chomps to steal from each other. Again, not something you would play frequently because it's very different, and not as good as the others. But I think it's fine for what it is. It's a circular board. Mario Party 7, which we'll get into, has the same kind of idea, but it's way worse. They just step down. Yeah. But besides that, I actually I think there was also step down in side content. 5 had the best side content, and they sort of pushed that aside for 6, but I still find 6 fine. I remember trying the 6 single player and being frustrated as hell because there's a whole thing of get to the end and you constantly get pushed back, and it was annoying.
The solo mode is terrible. Great board themes, but terrible.
But I think at least for the core game, Mario Party 6 is incredibly strong. I guess, Lee, do you have any thoughts on 6?
So, I mean, both you and I are kind of the same opinion that, like, I definitely think that Mario Party 6 is, like, the best out of all the GameCube outings, specifically because, like you mentioned, the core gameplay is inherently solid. I mean, while it's lacking some of the extra features, realistically, at least for me, I don't really ever play those that much. So
the mic feature was a waste of time gimmick. I just want to bring it up.
I mean, some of the mini games for it
Turn
are
it off.
fun, but it's a little half-baked, and I think
it was a
better
good first time thing.
Yeah, like
the mic wasn't too good at picking up your voice, though.
Yeah, I mean,
GK, find a picture of the mic, please.
A picture of the mic?
Yeah, like a Google, Google image, a picture of the fucking GameCube mic, because.
Oh yeah, it was connected through the it was connected through the memory card slot.
Memory card port, yeah.
I do think
keep talking, I'll find it.
I think where 6 did innovate with the day-night system, I would say it was a resounding success because it added another layer of complexity to the boards that felt, very fair and kind of changed the strategies. And that, in addition to kind of reworking how the item shop works to make it a bit more akin to the N64 outings and Mario Party 4, it just leads to just, an overall good time in combination with the good mini games and everything else.
Here it is. One of these.
It looked.
I actually I still have that, honestly.
Oh, wow.
Does it work?
Yeah, like it works every
What are
time,
the specs of the mic? Like, what is its how do they measure mics and how good they are? I forget. I'm not an audiophile.
I don't think anybody I don't think it's like the N64 Pikachu mic, which actually from some YouTube
That's
videos,
like garbage here.
Sounds good.
someone tried to do it like right here.
Ironically.
Oh my god. And you still have to
Look
push
at
that blue button.
Push to talk. Permanent push to talk.
Oh my god. But yeah. Someone once told me, yeah, that mic looks like a tampon. I'm like,
oh
wow, guy, I can't unsee that.
I'm sorry. I have this cursed information for years, and now the rest of you have this cursed information.
Oh, I almost forgot. Bell has brought up that the mini games were affected by the day-night cycle, not just aesthetically, but some of them were fundamentally changed, like what goes up, what comes down, and a couple of others. That was a good idea.
There's like 1 or 2 that are like day exclusive, and then 1 that's like night exclusive.
The only real critique I have on 6, because I think it's like an extremely solid game and sets the benchmark for what Mario Party should be. It's really just like the item shops having the potential to give you 3 of the same item. I think that's so laughably stupid, and that needed to be coded out.
And wait, Skull said that I'm a little sad that the mic mini games, if you put it to controller, you can't use the secret commands. I completely forgot about that. Wow. All right, and let me also, I just want to real quick pull up the alignment chart. I just saw that You showed that to me. But anyway, I guess any other thoughts before we get to emo?
No, I'm done on my side.
Okay. All right. I got emo. What's your thoughts on
Okay.
6?
So so 6 is actually the one I played least of all because when I was younger, we always had like the Wii games like 8, 9, 10, and then we got I think we got 7 as the only GameCube one, and then 4. But 6 is the one I played least, and so I I haven't really enjoyed it as much as you guys have, you know. But when I did play it, I did find it fun. Like I thought it was just it's like 7 but better, you know. And I love 7 personally.
Yes.
And yeah, the main critique I have is that when I played it, there was no story mode, and like it's like the only one that doesn't have like a story mode type thing, you know. And it's like when I played 8, 7, even 4, there was a story mode, and I had a fun time, playing by myself, playing against computers, seeing what happens.
Yeah.
And when I played, the solo mode, it was just, like 3 boards. Oh, and the fact that there's no Bowser board, like in the
there
in the
isn't.
main line.
That's not necessarily, I think, a bad thing.
Would you consider
It's
Clockwork
funny that,
Castle?
It's
until
not really
I
a
think
Bowser.
Superstars,
Not themed though.
or maybe Super, every time there wasn't a Bowser board, there was an ice board, which is funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That is a
Mario
nice
Party
coincidence.
3 had Chili Waters. Mario Party 6 had a Snowflake. That streak got broken in, like, I think Super. So.
But Super's an even worse
and-
black sheep than 5. Any other thoughts, emo? Before we go on to 7?
No, just just the fact that there's no Bowser board, there's no solo mode, whatever. That's just my main critiques of that game.
Yes.
Well, 6 introduced Toadette.
Yeah.
That's true.
Also, here's the alignment chart,
Yep.
which Mario Party 2 is lawful good, Mario Party 6 is neutral good, Mario Party 3 is chaotic good, Super Mario Party is lawful neutral, 8 is true neutral, 5 is chaotic neutral, 4 is lawful evil. Oof, that's a good one. 7 is neutral evil, and Mario Party is chaotic evil. that is perfect.
Yeah.
Honestly. Oh, all right. Okay. So we go on to 7, which I think, generally speaking, I would consider 7 a bit of a step down. Still a solid Mario Party. I do like the concept of Windmillville, which was better implemented in 8. But for 7, Windmillville was a good gimmick. It was fine. For what it was. And I'm trying to remember what the other gimmick boards were. Someone refresh my memory for 7.
There was Pagoda Peak, where it was just basically a straight line.
Yep.
Okay, that one
Neon
wasn't
Heights.
bad, but Neon Heights, which was Neon Heights. What I hate about Neon Heights is how many times you're stopped to play stupid little games that take too long. It gets frustrating.
Hey, look, you can earn some cash money though.
Yeah,
You get too
really
much
do
money
need
in
that
that
money.
one. But I do like the concept of 3 spaces that could have a star, money, or a bomb. It was always
Yeah,
a gamble.
Interesting.
Yeah, the mini games. I think the mini games were fine between 5, 6, and 7. I think the mini games were fine between the 3, and I often confuse which game has which mini game. The item play, I remember 7 gives you way too many flutters from what I remember, depending on the board. Oh, and the unique.
Well, only 2 maps had flutters. Oh yeah, Mario Party 6, and 7, and I think 8. But I know for 6 and 7, certain items only appear on certain boards, certain regular items.
And 7 had unique unique character orbs, which some were better than others, which was annoying when people played fucking Boo or Dry Bones.
Hell yeah, Dry Bones main right here, baby.
There's
right
a tier
here.
list. There has to be. There's a tier list for the characters in 7, although another game will have a tier list that's even worse, but we'll get into that in a bit. But I'm not a fan of the unique character items. I feel like if they added all the items for all characters, it would have a lot more variety in how it went through.
But not legally.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is a way to make that work. Also, there's a way to make board-specific orbs work in other boards, although they behave strangely. I don't know any other. Oh, and 7 has the similar board of Snowflake Lake where you're as a Star Stealer, but it's an asymmetric board with a very broken section, and it's lopsided and it's not good. I'm not a fan of it at all.
Yeah, Pyramid Park.
Pyramid Park. Not a fan. And Grant did also bring up that I guess they were trying to go for national themes with all the boards. Neon Heights was
because you're on a cruise ship, so it makes sense you're going to all. These,
you're going around the world. Like Neon
locations.
Heights was like more New Yorkish, stereotypical American. Pagoda Peak was China. Windmillville was Dutch culture. Grand Canal was Italy. Yeah, that makes sense. Venice, and they flood constantly. I didn't mind that board too much. And Pyramid Park was Egypt.
Yeah, and then Bowser was hell.
Yeah.
Best country.
Indeed.
So, 7's a bit weird for me. I also do think it's a step down. I really like the day-night system, and I feel like, I was kind of bummed that they took away that depth, but I guess that is also what made 6 unique. I think
they added jet lag system.
Yeah, I think the boards are all right. None of them, I mean, they're okay. I'm not going to not play them, but they're not my favorites, so they're kind of average to me. Minigames were fun, but I really do think that game has such a balance problem in regards to the items. I don't think character meta should be a thing in Mario Party. That just does not belong there.
I agree with that.
Oh, I'd hate to tell you about another Mario Party.
Oh,
yeah. And in addition to the meta with the items, with some characters just having like better ones, like Mario's item sucks compared to like
Fireball's
the
not
others.
great. It's more situational.
And you can't get rid of it.
It's like a nerfed Bowser suit. It's like a nerfed Bowser suit.
Yeah, and the flutters are a problem because you can be in first and still get them, unlike something like the magic lamp where it's like hard coded to not
Grand
be
Canal,
probable to get.
Well, Grand Canal and Bowser's Enchanted Inferno had the flutter.
And that effectively has the same problem as Mario Party 5 in that, like, the comeback mechanics can be pretty brutal because I don't think Boo is anywhere there save for the pink Boo one, right?
No.
Yes.
The orb. Yeah, you have to land on it.
6, Boo was on certain boards, at least.
Okay, and I also think that's a problem because I think Boo should be universal on like each board, or at least having some method to steal stars. Because the runaway victory thing, there's never an instance where I find that fun if you're like not the one winning. Yeah. So, and
3
both 5
people
and
don't
7
like
have
it.
that problem, and it sucks. So.
All right.
Skull in the chat says Dry Bones, Boo, Toad and Toadette orbs are the best. I agree with Dry Bones and Boo, not Toad and Toadette. They're fine.
Daisies and Peaches are probably the second best.
Free money,
Yes.
and you can dodge walkovers with them.
Yeah.
And you get money per space.
A lot, 3.
Yes.
Which is why I won't complain about the orbs because I play Daisy.
Of course you don't. Do you have any complaints about 7 or you want to be the defender for 7?
I am gonna be the defender because I personally love 7. It's like one of my favorites. I love all the boards and like their gimmicks are all I wouldn't say unique, but like they're mostly different from one another. And so you aren't playing like the same board each time, and the visuals, it's supposed to be like around the world, which I do find really awesome. Is that like you get all this different type of music, all different types of like clothing that the NPCs wear, and like accents and whatnot. It's very just cool to me, Gameplay wise, I will say was not as good as 6 and whatnot. A little more lackluster, I guess the word is.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
They tried different things and they just didn't land.
Yeah.
I do like the mini games. There's not really that many mashers except for like Poke Pummel, I think.
The mic mini games, I actually liked some of the 7 mic mini games. They're actually pretty decent. I kind of wish they had an option to remove the mic element and just make it a normal mini game. One of my favorite games that we almost never get to play because we usually turn the mic off is the one where you blow up a balloon, but the only way you win is if you're behind the wall and everyone else dies. So you have to like really think about how much you want to like put into the balloon. See that's a good one, but
balloon
great mini
bursters or balloon
Yeah.
busters, yeah.
something like that. Yeah, it's a mic mini game, but you most of the mic mini games you can play with other controls, but if you turn the mic mini games off, you don't even get them.
Yeah. Which I think that's a complaint I can have for 6 and 7. Maybe they could have taken some of those mic mini games and made them just regular mini games.
That is true.
Please?
Yeah. Yeah, why not? Like, just remove the mic element and make them normal, because there were some decent
Yeah,
ones there.
Screw the GameCube mic.
Yeah, who even
Oh.
buys that shit?
I was gonna say that it's interesting that you bring up the aesthetics of that game, Emo, because I also really like how 7 looks too, and it's such a far cry from like how primitive Mario Party 4 was, and it's crazy because they're both on the same console too.
Yeah, one's by the beginning and one's by the end. It's amazing just
Yeah.
how much they're able to figure out and work with the console and understand. Like, if you, it's true for pretty much any console. And this is a bit of an aside. Early games in the NES and later games in the NES, it's like Mario Brothers and Mario Brothers 3. It's like Mario
it's
Brothers
night
3.
and
You could
Even for
if you didn't know any better, you could say it's like a
too.
yeah, and I mean that's true across the board. Like early Xbox games were a little jank, and they got better as they went.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there
any other
are
final thoughts
also-
about 7?
There was also like 2 more things. One, the 8-player mode.
I was gonna bring that up, but yes,
Mm.
I am a fan of that. I want.
Never
that
tried
back.
it. Never tried it.
Really? Well, it's very fun when you're trying to play something like new, you know, like when you're not trying to play an ordinary Mario Party and you don't want to do team battles, because like, I mean, the whole mechanic of 8 players in general, and the fact that you can like choose which ones you want to play for mini games or whatnot, and that one is just like a success in my book. Honestly, I found it very cool, very fun, and very just good play wise.
Yeah, like I am. When the Switch was out, I was probably the biggest advocate of like in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a free for all like Pummel Party has, where you can have up to 8 people, or like how Mario Party 7 has it, where it's 2 teams of 4. Bring that back. And Nintendo didn't do that for Super Mario Party, and Nintendo didn't do that for Superstars.
Well, I mean,
Like,
I guess
come
on.
it is what made it unique, though. Like the day-night
Yeah,
cycle.
but like I want that feature back.
All right. Well, do we want to move on to the next thing?
Oh,
Yeah,
one more.
Yeah,
quick
one more
thing.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Byron?
Well, I was going to point out, Skull in the chat said, found it funny in Mario Party 7, the character orbs would change if switched between people. For example, if you play team mode and Mario picks up Fireball for the inventory, when you switch to your partner, the Fireball orb will change to their character orb.
It's the weird. The character orbs are coded to be like unique to the character, and they change, and they have to like do some major coding to fix that.
Yeah. Which, that's
so-
interesting.
So the last thing I wanted to say was that 7 was the first one to introduce basically random bonus stars.
Oh, yes. Oh, we never got into that.
I know this is a hot take, but I'm also personally a fan of that because I like the fact that it adds a little bit of randomness to the end game, and so you're not trying to like, I don't know.
We have
try
nothing
hard
to
for,
work
like, the happening
towards.
stuff. Exactly. Like,
If anything, you have more to work towards.
Yeah, you have all
which
of
I
We have so
actually
much to
kind of
work
enjoy.
towards. You can't really focus
Yeah.
on any one thing.
exactly. That's what I like.
I would say 7 wasn't as bad as some of the future ones. Like the metrics are reasonable. A couple of like the ones they put in. It wasn't until much later, like with maybe Superstars, where there's like way too much.
I think 7 and 8 did random bonus stars, I think, well, because there wasn't like 10.
Yeah.
There was 6. And that's that. And I wish, like, for Mario Party games, I know Superstars kind of has this.
Mhm.
I wish you could set it to either have like 3 random or like like if you want 3, you can either go with a set of 3 or just pick whichever.
Yeah, I'm with you
or
on
for
that.
Random or have random as an
Skull does bring up a good point. I personally would like to pick maybe 5 or 6 possible bonus stars, and then the game picks
yes,
3.
I would also like that. Yes, that would be really fucking cool.
Yeah, I think the classics, minigame coin, and minigame and happening, but maybe also add as a potential red, and then maybe another is running, and then maybe shop.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
those 6, I think would be good.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
gonna
look-
say that the random bonus stars are actually like an element of randomness I actually do appreciate, because I think as much as I like the
It
consistency,
didn't go overboard.
yeah, as much as I like the consistency of having the same 3 every time, I do think 2 of the 3 are, you know, in a sense too dependent on winning the mini games, because if you win the mini games, chances are you probably have the coin star, which is also kind of annoying because that just
Yeah.
kind of means someone is going to get 2 regardless.
Well,
But
well,
with
they took that out in 6, the
Yeah.
last game we mentioned, and
It's
then
like
they
the
took
North
that out in
Star.
7, which I
Oh, yeah,
honestly
there's-
I think is a change for the better,
yeah, I think
They
so
took out
too.
coin for orb.
Yeah.
which is fine. That's fine. That's fine in
All
6,
right.
and then 7, obviously the 6 random bonus stars, which are minigame, orb, happening, red, running, and shopping.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I am gonna
And-
have to probably dip after this one because I still got to do Easter stuff with my family. I did want to do like a quick, you know,
Yeah.
quick like session. That's what I
Well, yeah,
wanted.
that's fine for call-ins. You know, come in and go wherever. It's fine. But so I think before we go on, unless Emo, you have a lot to say about 8. Instead of going, I wanted to also talk about some of the side entries. But what would you prefer, Emo? You want to talk about 8 or
We
want to
can
talk about some of the side entries?
real quick.
Okay, so I have very little exposure to the side ones, like both the DS, Mario Party Advance, which was a weird single-player experience. The only one I have experience with is Mario Party E.
Oh my god.
Can you just have
I-
that on hand?
I have seen
Yeah.
one group of people stream this game, and I'm gonna mention them again. Mario Party TV, like half a year ago, did a stream of them playing Mario Party E, and it's interesting, but I don't know if I would want to own it.
Well, if you want to buy it from me, I'll sell it to you for like maybe $150.
I don't know. I don't think I would even want to own it.
I know I was gonna open it, but I kind of don't want to because mine's in pretty decent condition with just a little
Yeah,
bit of
that-
warping on the edges.
Yeah.
I got this randomly as a gift. Bought this. My mom bought this from Circuit City.
Oh
I
my
had
God.
an e-reader. She bought it because I had an e-reader at the time, and I was playing this. I never played the card game. I only played the mini games that came with this. I read the instructions for the card game, didn't care for it, and just sort of forgot about it. The card game itself is like really lame.
It's weird.
And the mini games that are included are honestly pretty stock. There's a few good ones, but they're very basic, run of the mill, nothing amazing. And you have to use a freaking e-reader, which mine broke, so I can't even play this shit anymore. But you know, I still have this, which is a relic and kind of worth a decent amount. Not very common. I don't think printed that well. I don't know if this is very sought after. I don't know who's running to eBay looking for Mario Party E every day.
Yeah, it's like
I doubt it.
you and the boys at Mario Party TV. That's about fucking it.
Yes. And I kept it. It's in good condition because there was a drawer where we kept our DVDs. I kept it in there, and that drawer was untouched for like over 10 years in the basement, and I dug it up one day.
Wow.
Got lucky with that because my mom threw out a lot of valuable shit. I kept that and my Game Boy Advance Game Shark. A little bit of show and tell here. This is worth a decent amount as well. It does. Anyway, so anyone have any exposure to any of the side Mario Party content?
I have both the DS and what's the 3DS one? The
Which 3DS one? There
Island?
were like 3 of them.
Island Tour. I think that's the one.
There's Island Tour, Top 100, and Star Rush. So
No, it was in like an actual Mario Party on the 3DS. Oh,
yeah,
wait,
there's
hold
like
on.
fucking 3 of them.
I think I
There were
have
like
it.
3 3DS ones, and then also the DS one. So while Emo's searching for that, I can talk. Oh.
Yep.
Well, Mario Party Advance,
Yeah,
I rage
no,
quit
I-
after trying to stream that for about 30 minutes because I just couldn't.
Not good.
It's not great.
People told
I
me.
would
People
not
told me to stream that.
I streamed it like a year and a half, like a year ago.
Yeah, it is
So like the
Island.
VOD does not exist anymore. I'm glad that VOD does not exist anymore. And don't play Mario Party Advance unless you want to play the little like e-reader mode or whatever. But
Yeah.
and then
I have
DS,
both,
DS download play is legit.
can you see it?
Oh yeah, Mario
Hmm.
Party DS. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
the
got
one
the-
I'm talking about
and-
right
Kind
now.
of make it
yeah.
out.
And then
I think the Island Tour one as well.
yeah, that's Island Tour. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You know, I played these a lot when I was in like middle school and everything, because I got this when I was like in 7th grade and whatnot, and my friends had 3DSs as well, so we were like, yeah, let's play Mario Party together with the fucking what's the
DS download play was legit.
yes, that was
Yeah, I heard good things about it. I had, I think, Island Tour. I only tried it like once or twice with friends, and I remember we had issues where it would randomly disconnect. And
Yeah,
like the two
that's
times
an
we
issue.
tried it, it was different in how it played. I can't comment
Yeah.
too much on if it was good or bad. I had to learn how to play the slightly different mechanics.
Yeah, that's an issue with any of the multiplayer for the DSs is that there can be disconnects. But from what I have seen and what I remember playing, Mario Party DS is a very solid entry. In terms of both, there's a good number of boards. There's only 5, which that's more than Super. So, but the boards were good from what I remember. The mini game, there were some great mini games, both aesthetically and just how they played. And DS is one you should pick up. Also, I will be right back. I gotta go use the bathroom.
And I just want to say, Crip, this is apolitical. We're just talking about Mario Party, so just keep that on the down low, please.
My
Anyway.
only experience with side games for Mario Party is Mario Party Advance, and I really, really love that game. It's really not Mario Party because you're not really doing like a lot of like mini games and stuff, but the story mode for it is more of like this sort of like weird narrative adventure where you're trying to stop Bowser by basically solving all the problems within the Mushroom Kingdom. And the writing in it is really, really funny. My personal favorite little like side story that happens with it is you're trying to find out this little like weird crime scene kind of thing, and it basically just amounts to a Thwomp being unable to leave his home, so no crime was actually committed. So it's pretty good.
So they did everything for nothing.
Pretty much. The dude.
Why
couldn't get out of
wouldn't a
the door.
Nintendo game have a feature of brutal murder as a central plot?
TTYD did that.
Oh
Kind of.
yeah, actually, I forgot
no, I'm
about-
sorry.
Well,
Paper Mario 64 did that.
well, wasn't that was developed by Hudson though? I don't know who
Intelligent
developed the
Systems.
dance. Oh well,
Yeah, the guys who made Fire Emblem.
there should be more murder in Nintendo games. All right, any other like random comments on all the side content for Mario Party?
Not much. The DS one is probably a really good one in my opinion. It's like a
Heard good things,
what
but
it was, like what it was.
If
It was
what
pretty
it
good.
is, it sounds like it was serviceable. All right, anyway, let me just put this fucking Mario Party E away because I don't want this sitting on my desk
Mario
next to my drink.
Mario Party Superstars is what Mario Party the top 100 should have been.
Yes, yeah, that's definitely a going theme. They ruined Mario Party Top 100. It was just a minigame compilation. There was no actual board mode. They should have done that.
Yeah, there was a
Ugh,
minigame
and-
island type mode, but that's about it.
It was lame though. I find it funny that Mario Party Top 100 started the trend of people saying when it was announced and it was about to be released, people saying Mario Party's back. Mario Party's back. It comes out. Oh, this sucks. And then we'll get into other games that tricked us too. But let's
Yeah.
move on to the first and yeah.
Skull in the chat said bring back buying multiple items from DS. Oh god, yeah, you could buy multiple items.
I didn't know
in
that.
the shop. Which
That sounds a little OP to me. I don't know though. That might be interesting.
You can buy 3-star pipes from the shop for 45 coins. From what
I guess if you're rich, it'll give you a good reason to get rich in that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess so on to Mario Party 8, and this is where if we're gonna talk about when we fell off, this is when I really started to fall off and I didn't really play it much because, you know, I wasn't into the Wii at the time. I sort of was more into Microsoft or Xbox and Xbox 360 at the time. So I really didn't, you know, get into that. But I played it like maybe 2 or 3 times at a friend's house, and it was just kind of amusing. We were using the Wiimotes and just sort of awkwardly like waving around, trying not to whack each other. It was interesting, and there goes emo. Catch you later, emo.
Go
Oh,
take
And
it.
man.
yes.
Mario
But yeah,
Party.
I remember liking some of the. I played Mario Party 8 on stream, and having played it without the motion controls, I kind of like some of the boards. There were some interesting ideas here,
Yeah.
like the Koopa Tycoon or something.
Yeah, Koopa's
I
Tycoon Town.
I liked that better than Windmillville. I thought that was a
Yes.
more interesting, different. It's sort of like made Mario Party feel more like a board game if that was possible. I liked that
Yeah.
one. I also, the train one was really good. The Kamek train, I forget what it was called, and
Yeah,
the
Shy
Boo
Guys
one.
Perplex Express.
Yes, and the Boo one with the ever changing board. I like that as well.
Yes.
The other ones I really wasn't too, like the DK one I wasn't too into, but there were some really good boards, and I think the item meta was a touch better in that. A little bit better than the orbs, but not to the level of 3, definitely not. And I like the feel of Mario Party 8 with like the whole circus motif and
Yeah.
a unique character with the hat which is like an eldritch abomination that controls
Abomination.
the poor creature that put it on its head.
Good old MC Ballyhoo and Big Top the Hat. Oh, Lord.
I saw people promote an interesting concept for Mario Party where they had different hosts that did different things. That sounds like it would be kind of cool. I mean, I don't know how well it would be implemented, but
Yeah.
and I don't remember how they said they would be different, but it was I don't know. It's an idea. It's an idea. Anyway, do either of you have any other much to say about 8?
I haven't really played too much of it. Realistically, my only knowledge for it is playing it with the patch on Dolphin. And honestly, 8's okay. It feels kind of finicky in like a lot of aspects with like some of the things. A couple of the mini games are cool, but it's just like it's the finickiness I don't like, and also some of the animations seem really, really long and they take forever.
Yeah.
And
They try to show
it's
it off, I
probably, like,
guess.
yeah, like I'd
Yeah.
say like 4 and 8, probably like the lowest for me, and the ones I usually don't like playing, at least. 8 especially, because the controls just compound onto those issues.
It's just, well, we don't play it as it was intended. We play it with removes, it hacks out the motion controls and replaces the motion controls with joystick, which is awkward. It's the only way we can really feasibly play it. It's possible for us to play with motion controls, but it's a pain in the ass, you know?
I don't really
8
like
is one of our
motion
least played.
controls in general, especially with like pointer things, unless I'm playing like a railgun game. So
Yeah.
I still think I'd have the same opinion, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like it's just something you play once in a while, but it's one that I said Mario Party 5 we played the least. 8 is actually really the one we play the least, because it's awkward and it's a little buggy. Like when we play
I've only ever seen
Tycoon
it on your
City.
channel like 5 time stops in like the several years.
Not a
ago,
lot.
and- yeah.
Not a lot, and every time there's like something goofy that happens, like the screen goes pitch black, and you have to like feel around for the button.
An experience. To
Ugh.
watch. But
Whatever. Well,
So-
Byron, you got much to say about 8?
I probably have the most Mario Party 8 experience out of everybody in the call. It was the Mario Party of my family, because at the time we had 8 people living in one house at the time,
Ooh.
which was
Wow.
it was quite crazy. Yeah, it was me, my mother, my younger sister, my half sister, my aunt, my uncle, and 2 of our cousins. We were all in one house for a couple years for reasons I'm not going to get into here on this.
Minor
stream,
fact.
Mario
Party 8 got
Party had
recalled.
to be recalled in the UK.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, but it was the Mario Party of my family, so we regularly played that one a lot. A lot of the boards are really good. Yeah, Koopas Tycoon Town is a favorite of everybody's. I personally like King Boo's Haunted Hideaway, where there's like the different rooms you got to try to find and all that stuff. Goomba's Booty Boardwalk is interesting. It's a linear board like a Pagoda Peak, and it also has that same problem of the
I'm not a fan of
happening
that one.
space literally like a few spaces before the start, and it just yeets you all the way back to start if you land on it.
There's also a glitch that happens on that board where
Yeah.
one of the ones that sends you back while you're using an item, it like has a weird looping animation. It happened once on stream, and it wasn't an emu problem. It was the game having a glitch.
Yeah. Shy Guys Perplex Express is good. I just have PTSD from playing a game against AI, being stuck on the top of that train for half the fucking game.
How does that happen?
Because I have terrible luck. And Bowser's Warped Orbit it's a Star Stealer, which is a weird one.
I'm not a fan of that one. I
Bowser
tried it
game.
once, and it was
And
senseless to me. There's like too many 50-50 junctions. I hate it.
Somehow it's worse than Pyramid Park.
Yeah, I think the worst board. I'm not a fan of it at all. It's like you're there's like random junctions, and you randomly go left or right, and I absolutely detest that one. I also want to bring up the train one. I already forgot the name, but I had probably like my luckiest game on like any of the Mario parties that was on that board, which I saved the VOD for. I named it luckiest game because pretty much everything that went right for me did, and every time someone targeted me, it didn't work. It was great.
Oh yeah. Speaking of luck, let's talk about the big thing for Mario Party 8 besides candy. The Lucky Space.
I like the idea of a singular space being really good, but I feel like I don't know. In Mario Party, in Mario Party in practice, it really wasn't good. There's actually a cheat we can activate to disable that space. Honestly, we should probably do that next time, because I think it's a little too good. When you land on it, you just get way too big of a benefit. It's just, and not to mention you do have the slow candy, which they did nerf because you go 1 through 5. But if you're within range, you can pretty much guarantee it. And I landed on the lucky space a lot in the luckiest game I played, if you remember. Oh, and I want to, like, just as an aside, it getting recalled because Kamek said we're going to turn this train spastic, which is an offensive slur in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not in the UK, so we're going to say spastic as reference to Mario Party 8 saying it. But they did pull it, and then they re-release it all versions without the word spastic.
Yeah.
Regional differences and dialects.
Yep.
Oh, you gotta be careful with that.
Baby.
Which is funny because that was one of the words my friend said a lot. Calls everyone a spaz, which is just a normal ribbing in the States. Anyway, any other thoughts from M8 from either of you two?
It's got an okay story mode, like all Mario parties for the most part. It's
got good energy to it.
Yeah, it has an energy to it.
Yes, it's like a party feel. It changed it to erratic. Yes.
Yep. Side modes are fine. New characters, we got Blooper and Hammer Bro.
All right, so then we move on to basically where the whole series is just a blur to me, and I know like 9, which I have never played once. I've seen videos of it. I don't want to play it. I despise the car. I'm not a fan of the car at all. Maybe if it was a gimmick for one board, a board I would probably never play. But as like a main feature of Mario Party, and they justified it by saying that when you roll, it doesn't affect other players, but this forces it.
Bullshit. It doesn't.
It was, yeah, that was. I felt like it was like the devs of Mario Party like really trying to force every moment to be to impact everyone else, but it did it in a bad way. I have no idea what the minigames are like because I didn't play it. I have little to say. If anyone has any defense of 9, be my guest. Or any other, if you want to beat the horse, go ahead.
So, this was the only video game I ever pre-ordered. Because I did not follow gaming news like I do now. And of course, every week on...
Were you pleasantly surprised?
But it was a surprise, for sure. It was the biggest whiplash I've ever had in my life. But I did play 9 a lot. The mini games were actually really good. There were some really good mini games. Some
I
of
heard
which
that
are in Superstars, so it's good that at least some of those mini games have a chance to come back in a good Mario Party. I liked some of the board themes. The game had boss battles, which was interesting idea, and like there was one boss minigame in particular. It is a Womp one where you are trying to make it so that when the y'all go to the center, y'all can choose either one or two to rotate the platform that the Womp is on. And if you fail, you get squashed by the Womp and everybody else gets the ground pound on them. I actually really like that idea for like a 4-player minigame. I think that'd be like a fun like 4-player minigame, battle minigame or something, but it's 1
Oh,
or 0.
here's
Thank you, Ryan. But yeah, like there's some good mini games. There's some decent side modes, but
So I
Mario
guess we're
Party
gonna move
9.
on. 10.
Yeah,
Another one I never played, except I liked the idea of Bowser mode as an idea. Committed 4v1. Good idea. The only problem was it was on the Wii U.
yeah, like
Yeah, one of the 10 people who owned it.
yep, yeah. Like I've seen like people Mario Party TV play, and they seem to have a really good time, even though they aren't the biggest fans of 9 and 10. So they seem to have a good time with that. And you are right that Bowser mode is a good idea. They had Amiibo Party, which is Mario Party Light, like really light. I saw the eye rolls there, GK. But yeah, and as Grand did point out, 10 introduced Rosalina and Spike.
Why Spike?
One of the weirdest choices for a character in Mario.
It's like, oh yeah, everyone was
Spike.
really rooting for that random enemy from Mario Brothers 3 to come into Mario
That got brought
Party.
back in 3D World.
Oh, he did? Okay, I didn't know that. But it's a random enemy. Oh, alright, well.
Yeah.
Is there any last second thoughts before we move on to another big black sheep of the series? No? All right. All right. Well, now unfortunately, while 9 and 10 were a blur, we were forced sober with in awe of just how bizarre Super Mario Party handled practically everything. And that fell into another trap everyone fell into with Top 100. Super Mario Party came out. People like was hyped up for it. People played it for like a month or two, and they're saying, Mario Party's back! Mario Party's back! This is real good! And then it took a few months to realize, like, oh, wait a minute. Why am I playing this? Because I love the mini games. They had motion controls done right in Super Mario Party.
Yes.
The boards, there's fucking 4 of them, and you have to unlock one. The boards are tiny, and this adds the problem even worse than Mario Party 7, that every character has a unique dice, and they try to promote this concept as like a major innovative feature. You have a character dice, and the characters vary in quality quite a bit. Bowser and DK were broken to hell. I remember Boo and Wario were really good.
Yeah, I know like Shy Guy was and Daisy were like the hot characters because they could roll like 4s. But
I was
man,
a Shy Guy man in that. And getting
sorry about that.
Good.
I was a Yoshi main, and of course, and Yoshi's dice was fucking garbage.
Yep, but yeah, so this one is interesting.
Yeah, I was hoping for DLC, and it never came. I'm kind of glad there wasn't, because if they kept up the character dice with new boards and made that the mainstay, it would be such a dud. There was also no online initially.
Don't forget the other thing, the other big feature, allies.
I wasn't a fan of the ally system, because it has a runaway problem typically, where one person gets them and then they can just run around the board pretty easily.
I'm probably in the minority, but I actually really like Super Mario Party. I will very happily play that over 4 and 8 any day of the week.
There are things I like about this. There are
I wish you could save
things I like.
Yeah,
for sure. Mini games, great selection of mini games. I actually really like the single player mode in this game. the minigame island styled mode. I don't even remember what the mode's called, but I really like it. You're playing through all the minigames. I love that. I think it's a good, fun way to practice the minigames. Sometimes if the AIs want to cooperate with you. But yeah, character dice and allies, they're just like, they don't mix well.
Yeah, I mean, this game is like the same problem as 7, where it's just there's definitely a character meta to it. Again, I don't think that belongs in Mario Party. I think the boards are kind of underwhelming. I mean, they look nice. They're better than 4's boards aesthetically, which, I mean, it's not really that hard to do. It was just polygons you were working with.
It's on the Nintendo Switch.
But
I have to step away for just 1 sec. You guys continue on that thought.
Yeah. But, I mean, I will say it's a pretty nice return to form after being stuck in the car for a couple games. And I think it's the right direction, which MDQ eventually did learn.
Yeah. Super Mario Party is what I would call a right direction for the series. And it is, I believe, the largest roster in Mario Party history with 20 characters. DK, Back Again, Dry Bones. Pom Pom was one of the new characters.
Oh, was she?
That was an interesting choice, for sure. Bowser is playable for the very first time, which
is wild.
I don't think Kamek is the big baddie of the game, and the unlucky spaces feel like that. It's like a little slap on the wrist. Like nothing really happens. Even the super unlucky spaces, which happens after the last 3 turns, it's not 5 turns anymore, not even 4 turns like in 7, the slowest game in the series. This is definitely up there in terms of slowness, because 20 turns takes 2 hours. What the?
Yeah, the animations are far too long.
Like, yeah, and when games usually give like time estimates, it's like sometimes they're off. Nah, this is the only game that is dead on. It's dead on.
That is my biggest critique with Mario Party after moving past the N64 games. Like, things just started to take a lot longer, and it's very, very apparent with the Switch games. Like, I was playing Superstar, well, the next game that we're going to talk about. I was playing Superstars with Dan. It was 30 turns. Any other Mario Party, that would have been like lightning fast. Well, or at least faster.
Yeah, we would have been done in like two hours maybe.
Yeah, but it's just like long animations compounded upon like, you know, some waiting times for even being able to roll your dice. And it's just like, like Mario Party is just better when it's just snappy and to the point, when it's not just dragged out.
Speaking of like things not being snappy, you have to go through the toad tips every fucking time in this game. Oh, no, you can't turn off the toad tips. At least in Superstars, I'm pretty sure you can turn them off. If not, that's a problem too. Or
I don't like that.
God,
it's unintuitive.
Man, I'm gonna fucking blow a fuse. The item system. It's like 7 and 6, but worse. Because guess what? It's the same items. It's not even different items like 6 and 7. It's the same items in both shops. Or like the same, each shop has the same loadout. Like,
apologies.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Stocking on gold pipes also is kind of easier on that, I'd say, because of the lower overall cost. And you get like more money too, which is like
you talking about the broken shops?
Start. Yeah.
We're talking about the shops that only have like
the item meta was bad in Super for sure.
Yeah, it's worse than 7 and 6.
Yeah, and like you just I remember I forget the tropical board. I forget what it was called. That one you could just loop the freaking shop for a long time. If you have a lot of allies, you can run the board and go to shops easy.
Yeah. Oh my god.
A lot of those boards have the problem of like you can go to too many places, have too many options where you can break a lot of the boards. Like the one with King Babam, you just go to the lower left and keep buying the gold pipes.
Yeah, like it's just the items invalidate the boards, which is not good.
Yeah.
And they were small. I think they should have just kept the 1 through 10. But
yeah.
Any other thoughts about Super before we drop that?
Oh, okay. Online. Let's talk about that really quick. So obviously, as we've mentioned sporadically throughout, we do not play for Mario Parties 1 through 7 and sometimes 8.
Yes.
This game, for the longest time, this fucking game, for the longest time, reading the back of the box, it says take the party online. Play minigames online against rivals all around the world. And for a
The
time,
minigame
you
mode.
could only play this many minigames.
And badly.
10.
I remember that like it was like there was bad connections galore, and it was lame. While playing minigames themselves do not carry Mario Party, you need a reason to play these minigames, and that's stakes. If you're
Yeah.
just playing a bunch of random minigames, it's lame. They had no board mode. It's like, why the hell not? I felt like they had the capability. And then like it was only after the another game was right around the corner they wanted to stress test servers that they added an online finally to
so-
board mode, which has a major issue where you cannot save if the game disconnects. If any one player disconnect, the game is dead, which means there's like very little incentive for me to stream that because there's always a risk. We're walking in a minefield that the game is just going to go
a month
kaput
and a
in
half
any
before
moment.
a month and a half before Superstars was revealed, Super Mario Party got an online update. And then it would be like, 6 months later, the Superstars is out. So it's like, why couldn't you have
You can
added
post
the
link, Skull.
online to this before, like in 2020, when there would be a real reason, not like, 2 months before we're gonna announce another Mario Party, a better one that makes this go in the trash for the most part.
Oh boy, but I don't know. It's just like I felt like everyone was so shocked to a more traditional Mario Party experience that they ignored the flaws and it didn't catch up with people for months that it wasn't good.
Yeah, like by Mario Party metrics, like it's very like low grade, but it's kind of like
Has
the
its
best we got
place.
after a couple years of just non-traditional games, which is like
them doing the stupid car and it's just it has its place, but there's just way too many glaring flaws that I
there's
really wouldn't pick it
one
up.
More thing I want to talk about. Lee mentioned it earlier. You get a lot of money in this game. A change
Yeah, the
they made with
economy's
this
broken.
game is the what do you want to call it? The coins you get from getting second or third place in minigames.
Pity coins.
The pity coins. Yeah. Thoughts?
Too much. Too many pity coins.
I was gonna say I think Super has the opposite problem of 5 in that like that game 5 has like I'm gonna say it has no comeback mechanics. Super has like everyone's gets the comeback because of that. So it's like the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah, like
I don't know if you guys already brought it up when I was away, but the bonus stars were garbage in Super.
we didn't bring that up actually.
For one, if you play a smaller game, there's only 2 bonus stars. You need to play the max turn time to get all 3. And the bonus stars themselves sucked. They had like an ally star, which is a runaway victory. If you have a lot of allies, you're doing real good, and then you get a bonus star.
List
And
for you,
also,
DK.
Buddy Star, which I think is a specific randomly selected ally, which would give you a bonus star. Absurdly random.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. What were the other bonus stars? Because I remember
All right,
distinctly not
so
liking it.
The ones introduced in Superstars, there was the Ally Star, most allies. The Buddy Star, like GK mentioned. There were like 2 of them that only appeared in the Partner Party mode, which were the Doormat Star, who had stomped on the most, and then the Stompy Star, getting stomping the most, and then the Unlucky Star. Only appeared in the Mario Party mode. It was given to the player who landed on the most red, bad luck, and extra bad luck spaces.
Oh, another thing I don't like is that instead of having last 5 turn event, they had last 3 turn, which makes it lame. Not like impactful at all. And the bad luck space wasn't that bad until the last 3 turns, but it was so easy to dodge. It's so easy to dodge bad spaces in Super. Oh God, do we want to lighten the mood with something better yet, or does anyone have any other things to say about it first?
There are a lot of items in Super Mario Party I do not believe exist. Because there are some items on Mario Wiki that they say exist. The big one, there's like a golden drink, which you can get.
Oh, some of them are
coins
partner
for
party
walking
only.
on spaces, but I feel like that item doesn't exist.
I feel like it's like that must be partner party only.
It has to fucking be. But
There's a couple partner party only items,
I know,
yeah.
All right.
But yeah, that is weird. Also, I'm not a fan of the hidden blocks having a little dial. I prefer just to jump in.
Yes, I'm glad
and
they
just get it
fixed that
randomly.
in
Yeah.
the next game we're gonna.
Because it tricks you when you first see it that, oh, I can time it. But no, it's just random. So what's the point of showing you the random chance instead of just jumping and get it? Because you... Anyway, so you go from Super, which was a big dud, better than what came before, sure. But then you got Superstars. The real return to form that
Yes.
everyone was raving about.
Ah,
A
physical copy. Hey,
celebration
there
of all the good Mario parties before, taking all the old elements, all old mini games. A pretty decent selection. A couple of questionable picks,
Yeah.
but a couple of the really bad mini games they actually made decent. Like Spotlight Swim is still one-sided, but it's not horrendously so.
we go. Yeah.
And there's only 5 boards right now.
Yep.
With the inevitability of DLC, when we get a couple more, this could become the definitive Mario Party experience. It isn't yet. It can be. 100 minigames, a good selection. They returned item minigames, which have been gone since pretty much 3. And
Yep.
they're actually fast. They flow better. I mean, Superstars is still kind of a longer game compared to
Yeah,
like the
we
N64.
mentioned earlier while you were gone. Yeah, like
Yeah. Oh
Superstars
man,
takes a
Superstars
minute.
was even worse. I mean, no, Super is worse. Superstars is a little better, but it's still like there's more. There's more complexity. The animations are a little more streamlined, but still takes a bit of time. I like that they got rid of the stupid ally system. They got rid of the cost of character dies, and
Yes.
it's just items, which I kind of like the item meta. There's like a couple. They added rare items again, which are legitimately hard to get. Like
yeah.
the one thing I don't like is the prevalence of lucky spaces. There, a couple of the boards have way too many of them.
There's
That
way
you get a lot. I guess they
think
really want people to use
Horrorland
items.
Is the biggest offender with like 20 plus. You get
Yeah, but-
$2 on that board. Lee, you can attest to that.
Yeah, you do get a lot. Although I like lucky spaces, but you know.
I like them. I don't want too many of them.
I just wish they were like cut them down a little bit. You know, cut
Cut
them
them down by like a third or a fourth. Preferably, probably.
But yeah. I like that they added Bowser mini games. I just wish the stakes were higher, like because all the Bowser mini games are just lose 10 coins. Like you know, most of
it's
the time
just
that's a
10
big
coins.
deal.
No
You
half
usually get
coins,
monies pretty good.
No all coins. No lose a star.
None of that. Also, they do still have petty coins, which I'm not huge on, but they are handled better than in Super. They're a little more subtle. But I would still love an option just to straight up turn them off. You don't win the mini game, you get Jack. That's how it should be. And an interesting thing too with the battle mini games, because there's spaces again as well, which is interesting. It's kind of lame that when you land on the space is gone, so you can only do as many battle games as there are spaces. Yeah, I kind of wish maybe it was like a cool off. Like if you land on a battle space early, it would come back after like maybe 10 turns, something like that. I wouldn't mind that.
Just keep it. Just keep it. Just keep that space a battle minigame space.
Oh, that too. Make that an option. I wish they would give you more options. The idea that instead of having a battle games specifically for battles, they actually worked in all the 4-player games to be battles, which kind of happened with 8 a little bit. I think it had a couple of unique battle games, but that's an interesting thing because some games work better as a battle than others. Some work better as a 4-player than others.
Like,
But it's
Bowser's
interesting.
Big Blast should not be a 4-player minigame. That game takes way too fucking long. to be a
Yeah, if
4-player minigame.
they allow custom playlists, I would remove some games from the 4-player queue like Bowser Big Blast and keep it in battle exclusively, and I would take some out from 4-player queue from battle. I don't know if the game does that already, if there's a couple of games that just won't be a battle game. I don't know, but there's a couple of questionable picks for battle, for sure. But I love it when we get Pokepumble as a battle. I love that.
Of course.
Did you know that for the initial like week, I was top 30 in the world for Pokepumble record?
Hey.
Yes. I had to customize my my controller a bit, the buttons, to make it more like fit in with my method. But when I did that, I got a pretty good record. Oh, and Skull brought up, I wish they would, I wish Reverse Room came back. I did too, and I made this argument. I made a video which I think did surprisingly well, where I did my Superstars analysis, hopes, and speculation before it came out.
Yeah.
And I thought I mentioned that I would have loved to see a return of Reverse, either nerfed in some degree, where it's like maybe you only go back upwards of 5, or they made it a rare item, like the double star card, which is really fucking rare, or the super warp block, also very rare. You know, make that very uncommon, because that's a very good item, but potentially game breaking. You know, something like that. Anything. Come on, people. I also like that they brought key doors back. I kind of like that idea, of needing an item to go through a more premium path. Key doors were a lot better than the stupid mini shroom. And any other thoughts before our hopes for the future on Superstars?
I've probably played Superstars the least out of all of us here. I have 2 complaints, and realistically only 2. This game could very much be the Smash Ultimate of the Mario Party franchise if they do include DLC.
It could.
I don't think there's enough. Like, there's so much of a rich history with Mario Party boards that only, what was it, 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 is like a disservice
right now
to like how long and how well established the series is.
That's a good opener. Continue the support.
Exactly, yeah. Like, it has all the foundation to be like super successful. My other complaint, and this is kind of a big one, the pacing in that game is like, it's slow as molasses at times, and it hurts me because I prefer the more like rapid fire approach to Mario Party, where it's just like boom, 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 like the N64 era. Aside from that, though, Superstars is like probably one of my favorite experiences with like the franchise as a whole. It's just a celebration of everything about the series that I feel just works. Some of the things were reworked in a manner that I would say is better. Like the boards that were brought back, like Peach's Birthday Cake, I'd say it's better. Like some of the tweaks to the other maps, I mean, they were just
mini
as well
games
as they did before, I'd say. Yeah, the mini games too. Like some of them just work.
They have 100, which is a really good amount.
Yeah.
So
I also like the pity coin thing, if only because there's been a lot of instances in 4-player games specifically where it's just like, oh, I can't win, so I'll just give up. But that still gives you an incentive to keep playing, which I think is like,
that's a good
it's
point.
Still good as like a game design thing. So
that's a good point. Yeah.
I think it should be a toggleable option.
I think that's a fair
thing
to do.
Same thing with the bonus stars. They have the option for classic, which is the only way to play Superstars, because they have the most ridiculous freaking bonus stars in Superstars if you play with random.
We have mini games.
Go through the list.
Now. Yeah, mini game.
Oh, thank you for the follow, by the way, Skull.
Yeah, mini game is now changed. It's no longer about getting the most coins in mini games. It's about wins in mini games, which
first
isn't
places
even tracked properly.
Yeah, you can't see it. They should add that metric.
Which is annoying. There's like, I think red is one, happening,
rich, which works different.
Rich, yes, which is coins collected overall,
not just the total max.
Yeah, but there's one that should not be a bonus star. Why in the good name of fuck is the Bowser space star a thing?
That's really funny, actually.
That is a bonus star. It should not be a bonus star. It should never be a bonus star. Get that out of here.
Would you know what? We're playing Superstars with random stars. I could go 2 ways. Either I could go on a Lucky Space or Bowser. It's like, wait a minute, I could get the Bowser bonus star.
I honestly kind of like that though, because it's very funny and silly.
And then you lose a star,
right,
from Bowser.
Space,
I don't. It's a weird metric. It's just there's way too many options for bonus. I'm very appreciative that they have classic. That's the only way to play.
Yeah. Like because
also there's only 2 bonus stars if you play with a lesser amount of turns. If you play with random.
If you play with 30 turns, you will get 3, which I think it should just always be 3 random.
Yeah, always be 3
stars, no matter what, or do like 3 random bonus stars for 20 turns and above.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
generally
don't know.
what a lot of people play.
I'd say the item metagame is also like I would say it's a step below 3, but higher than 6 at least to me, because it still has like a lot of the depth and you still get like a lot of choice in the shops. And there's even like in some maps a better shop where you could be like, oh, I want to make a beeline to that and get the good stuff.
I think literally there's only one board with that.
Oh, is it just
I think that's
Woody
Woody
Woods?
Woods.
I think it's
I
just
think
Woody
Okay.
Woods.
I thought it was
yeah.
other boards too, but never mind.
I
I
wish it
think
was other boards, but-
I think Horrorland, both the shops are mirrored pretty much. They're the same.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the case in Spaceland only has one. No, does Spaceland only have one?
Yoshi's
item?
Island only has one on the left side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yoshi
While
only
Boo's
has
on
one,
the
I
right
think
side.
Space Peach only has
Which-
one. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
we didn't even talk about the boards themselves, which I thought the boards were, pretty good. I think I really like Horrorland and Woody Woods. Those are like really good ones.
Yeah, Woody
Peach's
Woods is my
birthday
favorite.
cake. I like how they changed up how the board's layout is and how the piranha plants work. The piranha plants are a lot more worthwhile and dangerous for the opponents. I'm not the biggest fan that Bowser is after the star, so you can loop back to
Yeah.
the star at a higher cost. It's an interesting idea, but I feel like if you're rich, like you want to go to Bowser because
Yeah.
you get a faster star.
I like that because it shifts the dynamic so it doesn't just completely screw the player over, which is the thing
Oh,
I
that's
hated about
true.
the other, because
Yeah,
it's
that's
it's
fair.
more snowbally where it's like, oh well, I got Bowser, so I guess like I'm not gonna stand a chance at winning because I
Unless
won't
you
the
have a
money.
warp block in your pocket.
Oh my god.
Right.
Hashtag warp block.
And that's what makes it cool for the new one, because you could just play a fast
Right.
one on people and use a warp card to do that. Like I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
fascinating.
And okay, so the other boards, which was Yoshi's Island. I kind of like Yoshi's Island. I feel like the items sort of mess with it a bit. I still like you can pay for the junctions. And there's even an event to cut the price. So if one
Yeah.
is like too expensive, there's actually a chance, not a guarantee, that it will become affordable again.
And warp card
Yeah, I'm
also
trying to-
makes that one a lot more compelling than its Mario Party 1 counterpart.
Oh, yes.
Because like in the other case, you could just get stuck on an island and be like, oh, I only want Boo, and just keep doing that, you know?
Why am I blanking on the next board?
Spaceland?
Spaceland, jeez.
Yeah,
I love that
Yeah,
board.
I
Space-
mentioned that
Spaceland's good.
already.
Yeah. Spaceland's a good board. I like that one for sure.
That board's great because it
Um,
has the poverty beam.
The poverty.
I like how they still keep it. I like how they keep it lose all your coins. I was
Yeah.
worried they were gonna do the Super Mario Party thing where it's gonna be half, but they went all the way with that.
Yeah.
You lose everything, and there was a good
Yeah.
situation last time we played Superstars where someone got really screwed
Yeah.
by that real bad. It was hilarious because it wasn't me.
I
and I
think the-
love. Oh, go on, Lee.
No, you go, Byron.
I love you can speed up certain things. Like on
Yeah, the
Horrorland,
animations, that's nice.
moving the eyeball, Spaceland, you can speed up
Yup.
the beam. On Yoshi's Tropical Island, you can speed up the fish. Like, that's an incredible quality of life feature that makes games go snappier.
My thing with
Yeah.
Superstars is that like a lot of remakes have this problem where some things are faithful to a fault. Like the Gen 4 Diamond and Pearl remake, where it's just some things are like kind of like on par or if not worse than the original. I think the creative liberties that Superstars took with both the boards and the mini games overall led to a better cohesive product. Like especially with
Yeah.
things like the fast forward, because it's just like, well, this is great. I don't have to waste my time looking at a long animation, you know?
Yeah, you've seen it once, you've seen it 100 times.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I do have a complaint though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are some Mario Party games, in terms of the mini games, that got a lot of representation, and in some ways, rightfully so. Mario Party 2 has a lot of mini games. Mario Party 3 has a lot of them. 6 has a lot of them. 1 has quite a few of them. I kind of wish there was more representation in terms of mini games for Mario Party 7, 8, 9, and 10, because they actually had good mini games.
See, that could segue into my next point. The inevitability of DLC and what should be in it. More GameCube and like the Wii and Wii U, like some of those
'cause I
mini
feel
games.
like especially like I know 8 has some good mini games. I know 9 has some really good mini games. and I
Bring
know
back
10 has
Shake
some
the
good mini
Can.
games. So bring back the fapping. But like I do feel like they could have taken less mini games from 3 and maybe to an extent 2 and brought back some of the mini games from like 9 or 10. that
They
are
were very
underrepresented.
clearly focusing N64, but for the DLC is a great opportunity maybe some. Well, first I would like more N64 boards, but maybe both N64 boards, more mini games from the GameCube era, and also maybe like a few of the good boards from the GameCube era, and as well as like whatever was decent from the Wii and the Wii U. Like, they have a real gold mine here, and again, I said it before, potentially the definitive Mario Party experience. They just got to pull the trigger. They got to pull the trigger on this.
I think this is also the opportunity to get more people interested in like 9 and 10, if only because of the mini games. Like, because they're in a format that just lets them kind of shine, you know?
Yeah,
honestly, if they added a board that had the stupid car, I wouldn't mind it, because it'll be a board.
Because it's just one element of it, not the entire focus.
Yeah.
Also, like, the side content in Superstars is actually pretty decent.
Very lacking.
Yeah. There's no
I know the one,
right?
No, but the one thing I like though is the I forget what that was called, the train one, where you have to keep playing and you get a streak and you try to have the biggest streak you can. I find that mode fun. It's almost like a Mario Party BR.
That's fine.
And you know, that's a cool side mode. But the other thing, everything else is pretty lackluster, as you said. There was like a couple of puzzle mini games that don't appear in the normal board mode that are just sort of you play them once and that's sort of it.
Like, where are some great minigame modes? Like 5 had. Where are
reintroduce
like
dual mode?
4 had with the extra mini makeup boards, or like
reintroduce
like
dual mode.
Like,
another thing I don't like: duels. You can't put up stars at all.
Yeah, I agree.
And
you should be
the
minimal
dual mini games. They have a lot of good dual mini games they could pull from.
They could have picked way more.
Yeah. And better ones too. There's a couple. They freaking Spin Doctor. That one sucks. No matter, there's no way for them to fix that. You know, they don't even need to add dual mode for Mario Party 3. I just want more boards, more mini games, and you know, characters. You know,
I mean, that's really like the biggest thing it's missing.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Super, but only at 4. This one has 5, but at least they're all good, unlike in Super. But they have to. Can anyone remind me when like the next Nintendo thing is, or E3? When's the next?
It will probably be like June, July, and if not that, it'll probably be fucking September. Because all
right, mark your calendars.
Summer showcase, considering that E3 this year, for all intents and purposes, is dead.
That's when we'll find out what the DLC is going to consist of. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
I have to say it, if.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. God damn it. Theoretically, if they decide to do Superstars 2, that would be a real bummer, because I have to spend another $60.
That's my gut feeling, is that's the direction they're going to go. I don't know if they actually will.
I hope they don't. Nintendo, do you know how your gaming industry that you're a part of works? There's a little thing called DLC and continued support of your games. Have you heard of games like Fortnite or Siege? They keep getting more shit because people keep playing it. You can make Mario Party like that.
I mean, they're doing it for Mario Kart, and like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming Superstars sold well enough.
Yeah, do what you're doing for Mario Kart, do for Mario Party.
Well, we are gonna find out some more updated Superstars sales figures in like May. So,
how many boards or tracks are they adding into Mario Party or Mario Kart 8?
They're adding
48. It's literally double the game for $25. It's like one of the best deals in gaming history.
Yeah.
Well, there you go for Mario Party. You can add a DLC that's like 25 boards. I don't even care if it costs money.
25 boards, but like, I feel like they could double the amount of boards in the game.
I say triple, minimum. Also, mini games. Sprinkle mini games in. Give us the ability to make playlists.
Add some more mini games from 7, 8, 9, 10.
They can very easily.
Smash Ultimate approach, where it's literally just everything. You know.
Yes.
Like, how
yes,
cool
they can
would
take
that
some
be?
of the lesser played mini games, like the mic mini games, remove the mic element, and make them normal for like from 6 and 7.
Yes, please, yes, please.
Yeah, man, come on, Nintendo, do what I want you to do.
I do think this is a step in the right direction, and it's it's reassuring for the series because it's kind of been
Superstars
a
is
slump
solid.
for a while.
Yeah, even
It's
if
easy
they
entry
do-
for people to
yeah.
play.
Yeah, even if they do a Superstars 2 or a brand new Mario Party, I'm feeling confident they're going in the right direction with Superstars.
Also, I will have to say I'm not a fan of the naming convention. I get confused. Super Mario Party or Mario Party Superstars. Is it SMP or MPS?
What's next? Super Mario Party Superstars?
You know what's
There's
funny?
the
I
sequel name.
was actually.
There's the sequel name for you, Super Mario.
Oh, don't give them ideas. I actually made the joke. I was talking with people on an online forum about like ROM hacks, and this was before I knew about the custom boards in 3. And I said it would be cool if they could take all the mini games from 1, 2, and 3, put them into Mario Party 3, and then they should call it like Super Mario Party. But you know that wasn't feasible to do. But then if they were going to name it Super Mario Party, it should have really lived up to the name. Superstars does live up to the name. Now, they should keep that name and just keep adding more to the game. Please, Nintendo. Please do something I want you to do. You got plenty of extra money from your dumbass Nintendo Plus online subscription. If you tack the DLC onto that, along with the Mario Kart 8, it'll make it super worth it. Please.
Yeah, if they do DLC for Superstars, I do think they will tack it on to NSO expansion pack.
I feel like that's going to be a running theme with that. The Nintendo expanded online is instead of being a Game Pass, it's going to be DLC packs, which is really weird. Well, do either of you have any hopes or speculations for Superstars or the series in general?
I'm super optimistic, honestly. I mean, if you had like asked me this question like a couple years ago, I would have been like, nah, man, Mario Party is just in a bad spot and it's just not going to see the light of day. But Superstars has pretty much radically changed that. So, I mean, I feel like NDQ is kind of like understanding what people want more as a developer. And if it's anything similar to this in the future, then I'm in full support of the quote unquote new Hudson.
Yeah, I think not the series in general, not only like the official games, they're looking bright considering direction, but also from the fan perspective with all the new custom boards we've been getting. Custom boards for Mario Party 3.
Nintendo, hire them. Add those boards.
Some cool Mario Party 1 custom boards are starting to get made again. Like, I think whether you play official or emulated, it's an exciting time for Mario Party.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe going forward, when people have easier and more accessible tools, like maybe we can see some custom boards in the GameCube era. I will grant that's a lot more difficult because that's 3D model rendering and it's more effort than the N64, but at the very least, also going forward, maybe they can find a way to break the limitations of the N64 assembly code and like maybe add more minigames or fix minigames because they can only do so much with minigames. But it would be nice.
Yeah, like I'm very interested to see what the future of Mario Party holds from both the official perspective and, of course, the fun fan perspective.
Well, Skull, you might be right about that. Nintendo ain't Sega. They won't hire ROM hackers. The thing is, what I said about Nintendo is that they're basically 10 years behind. Eventually, they will do something right.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably get new management at some point that like kind of sees the value in that. I mean, it might be like, after our time as gamers, but who knows?
Yeah, let the youngins have a good time playing games.
Yeah, we had the boomer mentality for Nintendo, at least the current ones.
Oh. Damn. All right, well, we went pretty long. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to bring up. Other than the fact that I play Mario Party frequently, and if you're listening, join my Discord and catch me next time I do Mario Party. Also, eventually when I'm not bogged down so much by school and work, I'm gonna try to I'm sitting on a script for a Mario Party 3 minigame review. And I eventually I'll sit down and record the dialogue and do it, and maybe make other videos too. Sub to my YouTube as well as part of that plugs. The more people sub, the more incentive I have to make more videos. I gotta actually do that. God, it's so hard to make videos. In any case, so Lee, what can people find you and what do you do?
Hey guys, I'm just Lee Belmont. I'm also a Twitch streamer. I've been trying to teeter into the realm of YouTube, but that's gonna be a little bit down the line.
You did make a challenge video, right?
I did, yeah, and I have the scripts done for another one, but I haven't recorded it because my room isn't completely soundproofed, so I'm just waiting for the new plays. But my whole gimmick is that I play primarily platformers and Nintendo games, and need occasional variety. But if you like that, speedruns and randomizers are just casual playthroughs, then that's kind of the content you can expect.
All right. Byron.
Yep. So I like these two. I am also a streamer. I generally primarily stream platformers and multiplayer games. Tomorrow I'll be starting New Super Mario Brothers for the DS. Since I've been in a 2D kick, and I eventually plan to upload YouTube content as well. So look forward to that in the future. And yeah, thanks for having me on, GK.
All right, great. So eventually I have a bit of a hiatus on my podcast. Death Row has been occupied, and hopefully he'll be back, and we'll have more random topics. We might revisit the retail, Tales from Retail series, because that's fun. I might expand that to just a general work venting, because the call center wasn't retail, but I have a lot to bitch about, and I'm sure many others have other things to complain about their respective works. And anyone who has any idea for any kind of topic, in my Discord, I have a channel for the podcast, so give me some ideas. I'll let you know ahead of time so you can prepare if anyone wants to call in. Sort of call-ins. And I don't have a whole lot of time, but if anyone wants a last second call in to say anything substantial about any of the Mario Party series, I'll leave that open for a bit. Before I'm gonna just thumb through to see who's worth rating. Yeah, so I no guarantee if I'm gonna be doing the podcast 2 weeks from now. I do it every other Sunday typically, but once Death Row's back, we're gonna be regular again. But keep an eye on my Discord. Man, basically no one's online. Wow.
Well, it is Easter, so.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah, that's why I need to go pretty soon. Food's being made, and I had to step away because the oven wouldn't turn off, and I had to go flip the right breaker switch, which is a problem. And yeah, but a stove not turning off, kind of a big oven, I should say.
Yeah, that could be a big problem.
All right. Well. Yeah, I guess, I'll just go, but, I'll catch you guys later. I will be doing Mario Party this coming Wednesday, and then, I might do a Dead Rising challenge, not this coming Monday, not tomorrow, but next Monday, where we do Running Zombies. Dead Rising Running Zombies.
Let me know if you ever do the speedrun for that.
Oh boy.
I might. I have to look at, I'm not good at some of the speedrun strats. Also,
I can help you learn some things.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I sort of let Mario 64. I'm not. I let Mario 64 fall past me. I probably should do that again, maybe some point later. And we talked about Mario Party today, but I do also want to make it a thing to talk about general game series. I know a lot about Mario Party, but I wouldn't be opposed to talking about something I'm not familiar with. Like, for example, Metal Gear Solid. I'm fascinated by. I only played Metal Gear Solid 3. To have someone who has encyclopedic knowledge of that would be good to talk to them about, as well as other game series. Any other ideas, hop on my Discord, as well as other topics. Anyway, I will catch you all later.
Take care, GK. Thanks for having us.